man can yap and yap and yap. Hi, Weezy.
Hey,
All right, sister girl.
I just opened a notification. I didn't plan on actually talking to anybody.
Surprise. This is Carl's audience. I react immediately when my when
Oh,
I when I can see it on the goddamn screen. I can't tell you how many times I could solve so many problems of like chatters if I had a second screen, but I can't afford it because the fucking tree is still in my goddamn front yard.
oh wow.
We've got it chopped up into pieces. We can traverse the fucking driveway, but an actual nurse that is supposed to be a temporary replacement for our original head nurse as a part of our staffing team unironically came by yesterday and complained saying, well, it feels like it's unsafe for me to drive in and out, and there's no risk to her. She walked up the driveway from where she was. I don't know what else to say other than scary ass B word, but I'm not supposed to say those words about women. That's not nice.
I've found through my experiences in the past 2 years that medical people are basically that.
For
I have
yeah,
I have been doing a hell of a lot of fighting that I would have never expected through working with Mad Noise Cancer.
it's not even like I couldn't understand where she's coming from, especially with it being the idea of, yeah, you're being asked to come through this all the time, which it's a temporary situation, but it was this surety in her voice where she said, I'm not doing this, you can't make me, when we're the ones that require the help as a part of the job that she's here to assist us with. I don't know what she wants us to do, but the correct response is probably not that. But what do I know?
Uh, well, I mean, when I'm in the midst of a lawsuit from somebody who raised bruises on a mute individual, I don't have a lot of respect for the medical establishment at this point in my life.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of it feels like it's a choice, and it feels like it's a very bad choice at the end of the day. It hurts my head because I am trying to do everything I can and that they have told me I need to do my job, and it still feels like one step forward, 10 steps back. And that's not to say anything about other things that I could speak on, but I should not speak about them publicly. It's not my place to do so. But it's hard for everybody, myself included, my family included, because they're still basically giving me the runaround with what is a monetary uh, in need. I require the money that they are not paying me when a nurse says, no, sorry, I can't do it. It's a no for me. When all they have to do is walk past the lumber that is already out of the way. Like
the only thing I
I
would
need that money to
suggest is
live.
in a situation to take pictures, say that it's cut up and it's being removed, and
Yeah.
that's the only thing I could think of to do.
Yeah, we've done all that. This is just one more monkey wrench down the line of monkey wrenches I've been dealing with for the past 3 to 4 years.
Jesus.
I wish I didn't have to say things like that because it sounds like I'm making shit up. But I unironically need that money to live. How else am I going to be able to do my job if I don't have the money to pay for things like food? I
No,
mean,
I get it.
it was already enough of a stress when I came back from my birthday. It's like, oh, the microwave doesn't work. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to pay money out of that too, and then money out of this too, and then money out of this too. Because it's sad. Because at no point during the content drive, for example, I did not say that all of this money will be reserved and put off to the side and it will never be used and touched until exactly this moment. Never said that. The hope is that I wouldn't have to touch it. But first there was a rainy day problem. Then the rainy day became four giant limbs of the tree that is in my front yard at the front of our property breaking because of the storm. It's out of my control at this point. This isn't like a small little problem of me solving some problems around the house. This is something that involves the homeowner, my family member, and then dealing with that problem and belaboring that issue where other people drive by our place. And unironically, our neighbor used to have a hoarder mentality in their front yard. I don't know if it's because somebody in the city called or somebody in the neighborhood called because of the roaches proliferating on their property, just specifically in the front of the property, which was not the best look from the street. Hoarder is the right word to describe it. And then the cats, stray cats that they pick up, they just randomly take them in from wherever, whenever. Our place now looks worse than theirs. If you had no context, you'd think, wow, that house must be abandoned. Nobody lives there. Why is that wood still there? I have watched the leaves go from green to brown as the leaves died after we cut the tree. It infuriates me that I can't deal with it faster. Because even if I had power tools, we would still have to move the lumber. It'd be easier. I could chop the lumber up, put it inside the box. But without a power tool, I'm not lifting 50 pounds, 100... It's probably actually a solid, 50 pounds each of these little lumber tills. I can't move that. I've already shown pictures of what it looks like before and after we cut it. I can't move those. If I try to move them without stretching wheezy, my arm immediately starts getting sore.
Yeah, so it's a way to a free powerlifting session.
Yeah. Just moving them out of the way so that Star could drive in the driveway when we had to go make an emergency trip to Walmart to get food because we couldn't get food. What do we do? The city's not going to help. It didn't fall on the power lines. So because it didn't destroy the power lines and then cause us to have power out too, it becomes our problem to deal with entirely.
Gotta love bureaucracy.
I hate bureaucracy. I hate bureaucracy. I hate bureaucracy.
Oh God.
So,
no, mostly here we're just, my one day off for in a couple months, so it's been fun. Well, I've had one employee. She was out on maternity leave, but she ended up going out earlier because it was high risk, and they put her on bed rest in her 5th month. So I've been going like crazy taking care of her. I now have a new hire, and we're just getting ready for the start of the season. And you know how it is with the players. They just everything goes to shit during the off season, and now we have to make up for it. But the season starts October 7th, so hopefully I've got them up to par.
I have my own things that I'm trying to get sorted out because I was trying to finish up these videos that I swore I've been working on for 3 to 4 months now, and also finishing what was supposed to be a 3-day edit of the food experiment that I did making my own kimchi.
Dev at the video.
Yes, the first one that I was working on, the Brianna Mannequin video, I retooled it because I did not like the original message that I had written inside of it after I did some soul searching. But now it's just I mentally can't think because I'm constantly being put on edge by everybody. First, I have to make sure that I finally pass this inspection. Pass the inspection on the 16th. Then the tree shit happens. Try to figure out how we're going to deal with the tree. Then my birthday's coming up. I have to spend some time just meditating so that I don't panic in front of new people. Star surprised me with a party with other people that she's met with a person from work that's very, very similar to her. So she has a new friend and new adult friends that she can hang out with outside of the adult friends she already had, including you. Then it's back to dealing with the fact that immediately after I come home, an appliance that I need to cook the food and make the meals and prep things as is part of my job is now broken. Gotta figure out where the money's gonna come to fix it. You helping with that means that's less money I had to spend, but I still had to buy groceries. And then when the content drive ends in October, I take whatever money that I have on hand, the money that I put aside, and a little bit of some earnings, whether or not the other content creators that will be doing the community giveaway wants to give things away with their own audience, to put into a giant pool to get content for. Gotta figure out what that total is. And I know that total is not going to equal the 500 that we've raised thus far, because I know that I've had to dip into it for emergencies because of what happened. I hate that. I hate feeling like this because I feel like I'm stealing, even though I'm not stealing. Everybody will understand it's 100% rational, but it feels like I'm stealing because I should not be in this position financially. I'll blame Biden. The white man did it to me. Yeah, let's go with that. The white man did it to me. The old white man chat.
They consider the microwave reparations.
The reparations for the food I have to eat. Still buying it from places like Dollar Tree if I'm not getting it from Walmart. It's all poetic. It even rhymes. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, dealing with all of that, and then also setting up content, because there's also content that was paid for. That's the other reason it feels like it's stealing. Because I swear Exo Crusher is single-handedly funding that side of the content drive. We've only had maybe 2 subs, specifically from just YouTube memberships. But the entire donation money giving side, Exo Crusher has given more than 50% of the full total. I've calculated every time he gives a donation, he's given at least more than 50%. Not even to mention that when he funded the content for Creature Kind, the Jaden and Jasmine books, and Pendula Swing, that he inadvertently ended up getting me a new fan in the form of Liddell Parks, the creator of that series. So
Nice.
It weighs on me in a way that makes me have nervous breakdowns where I feel like I'm not doing enough. So I try to rectify it as quickly as I can, but I'm in a position where it's very hard to do that. Because when I want to do that, I want to do it as an activity where everybody can be involved. And sometimes it's hard to get a hold of people, especially other mutuals.
Yeah.
So I gotta do what I can, not lose my head about it, and remember that I'm not a thieving leftist like Innuendo Studios. I don't even think that guy was able to steal the money to go on his Japanese vacation. I think he was forced to stay stateside because something was wrong with his passport and his visa. But yeah, it's.
Or you could be taking money hand over fist for a comic that's 5 years out of date.
That describes so many people, I don't even know which one it is anymore.
I can think of at least 3 off the top of my head.
The first one that came into my head is fucking Buster Baggs and his favorite side friend, Juju the Clown. Excuse me, Juju the Cow. Juju the Cow. How dare I disrespect Milo with his zizzing of his favorite butt monkey on behalf of Buster Baxter? How could I do that?
Yeah, there's so many out there. It's like I'm at the point now where like I don't give money to indie comics anymore because I think Desper and his Mythicals is the only one that's ever come out on time.
Mm-hmm. I know that in terms of whatever Piper's doing, I know Piper and her book Peregrine is one thing, and I know she's working on her Little Mermaid parody Ariel, but those are really the only ones that I could keep track of because it's people who I personally know. Outside of Rippaverse, of course, because, hell, Comicsgate is so long ago, but I don't hear from your boy Zach because everybody agrees that Zach has kind of gone off on a political tirade, very similar to Your Movie Sucks and I Hate Everything. Nobody ever hears from Mr. Comic Pro's book Secrets because nobody cares about Comicsgate like that anymore, not even the people who are on the left wing grifting from it, like Remphamus. No one's heard from them since.
It devolved. It's basically just a bunch of slap fights between creators where they just take super chats from people to piss on each other.
Yeah.
It's a complete waste of time, and I'm not giving my money to that. I've gone to just buying, indie fantasy books.
Mm-hmm.
So
Smut Talk, unironically, is making more money than anybody in Comicsgate right now. Because who wants to give money to one content creator so they can do a cheap imitation of JDA or Smash TV while they don't have the charisma to actually talk to people who are in the know, let alone talk to people who are representative of the customer base that they're trying to serve, that they're underserving? It's not worth it. You might as well give the money to me. At least you know it will go towards buying actual food, actual content, and helping raise a child. That's the Carl promise. Ting.
yeah.
And I'm so fucking serious. It is better to spend the money on somebody who is a smaller content creator who you know is solid and has tried to do everything right from the beginning and is sitting on the straight and narrow, because that is possibly the difference that will push them over the edge that month and help them do something it is that they're trying to have happen, because unfortunately everything scales upwards when you have that kind of money. It's an unfortunate factor that right now maybe is the greatest amount of time I've been able to spend on growing my own relevance, because I don't like doing that. It feels like self-glazing without actually having earned anything. But it actually benefits me to do something like what I'm going to ask some of these mutuals of mine that I want to include in the giveaway to do. Because I believe that the best way to make content is just bring people together and sit down and get to know each other. I've already done that with people like Cole Cactus Cage. Ironically, I didn't realize that I had more in common with her than I did, because I did not know that she was already friends with people like Horror. But then, by the same extension, being able to go on to places like Wick, and then the debate partner of my opponents that were the proponents of that debate, because I was chill, he offers to bring me to a debate panel he's putting together. That's the kind of upward trajectory that I need, because I don't normally go to those places, because I do not like dealing with that noise. Granted,
also logical capture in a lot of them. I mean, just look at how one of the worst examples in recent years is Yellow Flash. I
Yes.
mean, I can't even watch the guy anymore.
Like, I barely watched him to begin with, and I understood that it was it's like the Cole poster accounts on Twitter. You see all the accounts that, from whatever genre it is that they're pandering or slopping to, especially the I don't know what his name is, the Eagleman account, the one that was possibly an Indian posing as an American. Whenever you see them, they're taking some type of topic, and they're just taking whatever is from the headlines that they can copy off of somebody else's homework, and they're just blasting it everywhere they can. It doesn't matter whether or not it actually makes sense. They just do it.
It's barking at headlines. It's barking at headlines.
Yes.
That's really all it is now. And I can't watch that shit. It's why, like, I noped out of the quartering and all the others like it. It's just, I can't fucking sit through it anymore.
Yes.
It's boring.
Like, I have been slowly putting together and trying to backtrack through some of my content, and if I end up not being able to find it all, it'll just continue forward from the playlist as it is now, under the title Color Gaps, because to try to get myself into the regimen of making daily videos again, or rather, get myself into the editing booth so I can knock out 2 videos and then continue knocking out the rest of my editing while working on this guide that I started for Helldivers. It is, to my knowledge, that if I'm going to talk about a subject matter that is something that is basically the headline news, I'm going to do what I've already done with usual content within this new era that I started in 2025, where I just simply talk about the subject matter in question, and I handle it, and I do give context on it in the way that I want. Some of them are a lot more thought out, like the video that I did on Keith Lee and the Atlanta food critic scene, or the content that I did specifically on the fact that I tried playing something like Marvel Rivals, don't like it. I don't like the type of people who play that game, because they're all the type of toxic people that came from League and my background in MOBA, and they're just there being even more of annoying people. Didn't like it, but there was a drama that was going on with a particular content creator that was challenged to prove that he actually knew what he was talking about, and that was interesting. Covered it in a certain way that I wanted to. Same thing that I did with Devil May Cry, same thing that I did with recent topics, or any of those Carl Yaps that I did, excluding the one involving people like Pisco. I learned he had a nickname that basically, it's not Molester Pisco, but it's like Predator Pisco, because around my town, and I've shown the pictures of the billboards, there are giant billboards that feature Timcast. I think it's somewhere across the bridge that goes towards downtown, but I see them, and I remember sitting and watching some of the original earlier episodes, the ones that still had Adam Kreidler, before it came out that Tim Pool was basically just fucking Lydia all around the compound, before she left and then married her new husband that she's with and had her child. But these new episodes where he has on people I don't even know where the fuck they came from, if they're not a part of some type of conservative, air quote, whore debauchery right. People like Pisco come on and they're just the worst topics, with the worst energy, with the worst framing. And it's like looking at Destiny getting put on De Beers Morgan, and he does exactly what he's there to do, which is to try and rape the conversation by talking a mile a minute. Because having multiple arguments and insulting somebody is the same thing as having a point, I can't do it. Even when I was younger, I couldn't do it, but at least I could be able to watch it for the context. But it was dependent on who was making it.
It reminds me of those the atheist debate bros from the '90s.
Something like that, yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. That debate bro shit in the new atheist movement in the '90s.
Like it's like a culture clash, but instead of being a group that is rebelling against the thing that is destroying their culture, they're all for the destruction of it because it then stops there being a barrier that doesn't allow someone else to get into their scene of grifting, right? So when Renfamous went from Gamergate to Comicsgate, it was about trying to basically shout down anybody else, which is how she tried to dox me. And me telling her, you're not from this scene, you don't know these writers, you don't know these books, you don't know the history, why are you even here, you're not useful, stop talking. That was unacceptable, because that's a barometer that stops her from being inside. When she tries to defenestrate and attack people like me, and nobody's cheering against it, she's saying, get me my Twitter scalps, get me my Twitter scalps. That gives her the ability to do what she wanted to do, and that was to try to get money out of it. Piss poor book with pad illustration. We mocked it till high heaven, but she still got money off of it. That wouldn't have happened if there were people willing to say, no, you don't deserve to be here, take your ass somewhere else. No one's willing to do it because everybody's in on the grift now. It's how I felt about Gamergate 2.5 / Gamergate 3.0. While I don't dislike it,
problem is, the only people that are available to do it are these terminally online weirdos. The rest of us have fucking real jobs and live in the adult world.
I feel like the only person that can be there to do it is me, and that's because I work from home. Because my job is being a caretaker in this house and a groundskeeper while cooking her food, getting her up, getting her prepared, getting her dressed, doing her physical therapy, blah, 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 blah. I'm the only person who's actually online. And I'm not getting platformed on there because I'm not willing to suck the cock. Or the people who are there, I have not made the connections with them and talked to them to know them where I feel comfortable asking them, hey, let me go on here. Because I don't want to act like it's a transactional relationship.
Well, also, you don't want to, sacrifice your principles to be online.
Yes.
You lose your sense of self. I mean, I totally get that because I wouldn't want to do it either.
Like, I want, if somebody wants me to go on, other than if I ask them privately, we work it out, and then we do the content like I did with Gator that resulted in the fat man himself fucking pill shaking, reeing at me through the internet while I'm sitting there chilling, talking to him while I play Don't Starve Together in the background. I would prefer being able to set it up with them or be invited by them because of somebody else from my audience telling them, like, hey, so-and-so of your audience said that you'd be a great fit for the content today. I think you should come through and be a part of the show. I would rather take that offer than necessarily reach out with my own hand because I feel that if I'm the one reaching out for it, that's going to read as desperation.
Well, your interviews with Gator were great. I enjoyed them quite a lot. Mm-hmm. Again, like, I'm watching your content like after the fact, so it's usually like the next day background noise while I'm doing paperwork.
Mm-hmm. There's the culture in my audience so far, as it has been for the last 3 years, has basically been there are people who can watch live because they have the time to, or they have the chance to pull it up during a lunch break. There are the people who are watching the videos because, of course, they can always find the time to watch a video when they actually have downtime. And then it's the people that are watching the VODs of live streams long after they've been done. I am guilty of not having a lot of the live stream content coming up because everything has been in crunch time for me, setting up for this thing that has finally come to pass that I had been told for 4 years was finally going to happen, and then get no confirmation, no date, and then I'm told to sit there with my cock in my hand waiting for the next opportunity. Now, I'm waiting for them to finally figure out the paperwork and then them put money in my hand so I can solve some immediate problems in the house.
Yeah.
So it's like, I could make more content, but making more content would mean that I would be shirking my duties and responsibilities. So I don't force myself. But then, when I do things, I still need to figure out the time in which to do them. And then figure out if somebody chooses to, with their support, how to pivot into it. I've gotten better with this over time because I've started negotiating my boundaries more. I've gotten a lot firmer on my boundaries. You can clearly tell that from just who's still here and who used to be here. You can go through the VODs and be like, hey, here's that guy. How long has it been since he's been gone? Oh yeah, I remember. That's why Carl had to get rid of them. There are people who have been here for years.
I've had to do that with a few mutuals I've had for quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I had one that like I had to let go of a number of associations because they were starting that red pill shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I don't need you to sit there and call my husband a cuck and make these, accusations about our living situation when it's none of your fucking business, and I don't need to be blasted online for it when you're behind the scenes calling yourself my friend where we actually know each other's first names.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, dude, not cool.
Yeah, and especially that shit that happened with Ben, and me having to be stuck there being like, why are you guys making me do this? Why are you making me get involved and try and pick sides? I know the comments that they say about people like Devin, and that they also say about Rebecca. I am stuck in a position where I have two friends that don't like each other. That's whatever. The fact that I didn't get roped...
Him before, and then actually I've since ended up, that was part of that group where I ended up letting. He used to like to get into internet slap fights, and I would have two mutuals that were going at it, and I just let him. I got used to it. It's like, I'll be here. I can be friends with two people who don't get along. That's called adulting. Okay, I can be friends with two people that don't actually like each other. I just with them separately. Whereas, like, as much as I love my friend Phyllis, I can't have her and Josie in the same room. They just do not get along. They are just, they're like two rams headbutting each other. I can be friends with both of them, and I adore the both of them. I've been friends with both of them for a number of years, but they can't be in the same room. So I can be like that with my mutuals online. So with Dev and Scrump doing what they were doing, I could appreciate both of them and still have, relationship with both of them. But for some reason, some member of Cabal decided that was haram, and I had to get involved. And so it didn't involve me and involved them. That's what the whole basis of this was.
It becomes unfair.
That was the whole thing. And why Ben chose to involve himself, I don't fucking know. I really don't. And it all goes back to this Flexi JL motherfucker who just decided that I needed to pick a side in a slap fight that had nothing to do with me personally. Whatever was going on between them was going on between them, not between them and I.
Because for what I feel like, what it comes down to at the end of the day is that I'm being asked to put my energy behind something that I don't actually have a firm position or opinion on. And the moment that I choose to say, listen, not my circus, not my monkeys, I'm being seen as picking sides inherently. Therefore, I must be for it. And then all these other attacks on my character that have nothing to do with me at a core of who I am or what I do. Even while other people on my behalf are telling him not to do what he did, first to you and then to me. Because then there are other people that on his honor and on his reputation were doing things that I had to then deal with that would not have happened had he put his foot down and told them, listen, just because I know Carl doesn't mean you can harass him day and night on his live stream and say, no, Carl, you didn't research this topic that I wanted you to get into and have one specific opinion on correct enough. I wanted you to antagonize and attack this person the way that I wanted you to attack them, because if you don't have that correct opinion, then you're not as base as I thought you were. Like, in the history of any of the time that I have ever been live on camera or been a content creator, I have never given a person the implication that my opinion can be bought. Do I appreciate people giving me money? Yes, I do. Of course I do. Why would I not? I'm a capitalist at the end of the day. However, that does not mean that you can then buy my loyalties with money and then harass me about something that if you really asked me to look into it, why would I ever agree with someone saying, excuse me, Carl, did you know that they had a black woman on a cover of a JRPG video game? That clearly means that it's woke, and I need you to hate it, because Procurator Brutus Serrano said that if you didn't do this, then you're one of the bad ones. Also, you should definitely listen to all these opinions coming from these people, and you should also listen to this opinion coming from this other guy who he doesn't actually cover games. He doesn't interview things. He doesn't look into the content. He doesn't even do things that you do. But I feel like you should support it because you gotta be a part of the movement, bro. No, the fuck, I do not. I don't have to be a part of shit other than in between my woman's legs. Hello. And if it has nothing to do with that, why are you asking me to comment?
That's the thing that got me, is I'm not even a content creator. I'm just some bitch that gives fitness advice online. Like, just because I just happen to do that for a living. I mean, it's just that was where a lot of my mutuals came from, is that they posted something, I replied. Sometimes we even had conversations over time, and that's where a lot of it came from. And during 2020, I had plenty of time to do that because we were all sitting with our thumb up our ass because of lockdowns. So, I mean, I have a little bit of a presence, but I'm fucking nobody. So why do I need to pick a side in some creator war that has nothing to do with me?
What's worse is that I'm being asked to give an opinion on something just like I was asked before. When we all were asked to give an opinion on things like Israel-Palestine, I'm not a political content creator. It's not my job to give an opinion on it. If you want me to give an opinion on it, I'm going to look into it first. And when I look into it and I have an opinion opposite of what you think I should have, you're going to get really mad at me because how dare you have that opinion? You were supposed to be one of the based ones. You can't be against my opinion and also still be based, Carl. You betrayed me. That's not how that works. It's not how I'm going to let it work either. Especially since they go out of their way to make it a clear example of if I am not on the side of money, that it must mean that I've been bought over by the other team too. Which was the most annoying shit that people kept trying to justify as a reasoning for why conversations mattered.
Really, it feels like, I take that back. It feels like junior high school.
That's what it feels like. And whenever it does come up, and in this case, we're technically speaking on issues that we've resolved already, but it's relevant because there's always the second order of magnitude consequence. Because I put my foot down, when he then chose to cause problems, looking for attention and getting it, and then getting mad that I addressed him the way that I did, by not addressing him, looking at what he did, ignoring it, and continuing in the middle of my live stream, my live content, and being told, how dare you, through the internet, and me having to say, no nigga, how dare you? Because we warned you. I warned you. And now I'm putting my foot down. How am I not allowed to guard my boundaries? Why is it that I'm expected to be the very accessible content creator that I am? Even just being an online internet personality. Just an influencer who influences nobody at the end of the day. Nobody needs to know who I am. I shouldn't be relevant in that way. How is it that I can not have my own opinion, and I'm supposed to just be a copy of a copy of a copy of a bunch of other people who are supposed to be copies of me, and then at the same time, be somebody who's so perpetually dangerous that people need to tell lies about me and about my worldview, despite the fact that they aren't true, and any person who would just ask the question would find out relevantly that it's not true, but somehow it must be true because, well, you see, you should have heard, I heard from a friend of a friend that he's beefing with someone over so and so and so, and it doesn't help anything. It just doesn't help anything. I'm just perpetually being punished for having put my foot down for guarding my barriers. Because when it was earlier in my year, when it was earlier in my content, when people would do something as daring as saying slurs live on camera because I took my headset off in 1 second, just to try and see if there was something my parent needed in the house. Somehow, that was justification enough that actually Carl's not a good person. He's not based. He's betraying us. He's one of those. While then being lectured by somebody who can't live stream on the same platforms I can live stream on because they cannot help not hide the power level. I do not get how that works. But I've long since stopped caring about it. It only is relevant that I have to explain it because people who are not aware would now be molested by people who would steal that information from them and have continued to do such. And it being culture makes it the same thing that was being said by Gator when he described the behavior of a platform such as that as Kiwi Farms is just being green redded. Because all of the websites are behaving the exact same now. They basically are all that.
It's ridiculous.
Like, I remember when Twitter used to be a lot more fun, even though it was a lot more annoying back then. When people could unironically not escape Renfamous and her fucking talking points, because it was a leftist platform. But I cannot. I have to block people that are clearly going out of their way to get attention. And where in the past it would have been like, haha, you blocked me, that means that I win. It's like, no, this is no longer about winning. This is about the fact that I do not want to wake up and see these faces and these names on my feed constantly, over and over and over again, because that person just doesn't get it. They just don't understand that I don't have to commit myself to a war. I don't have to commit myself to listening to the argument that they have. Because before, I would have wanted to talk to everybody easy. I would have said, no, I don't want to silence that person. I want to hear what they have to say. I am probably one of the first people who will be like, shut that motherfucker up right now. Because they have nothing of value to say. I don't like the fact that I have that's become the case. But that's what it's become now. They don't
like swatting ass. I used to never block anyone either, and it's now at the point where, especially when they started the shit with Madnoy and they were going at him, that's when I really started blocking people and realized that it is about your peace. And there are some people that you just should not engage with because they're not genuine people.
Yeah, they're in the vested interest of absorbing your time. They are effectively monitoring spirits.
Yeah.
And it sucks because there are some personal relationships, so one of which I cannot speak on because I would prefer protecting her peace, despite I was a problem for her peace. Where it's like, I find myself with a friend that I lost because something that I thought shouldn't have been that big of a deal was actually that big of a deal. Because my barrier had been worn down for so long that I thought it was acceptable. And after I really spent some time thinking about it, even though I could be angry about how that person chose to take their choice, it was a choice of, I'm protecting my peace, I see him as a threat to my peace. So I will lie to his face and say, yes, we can be cool, so I can put distance between me and him, because I do not want to be around him like that. That hurts to have to look at, but ultimately, maturity says, I have to accept that. That's being an adult. Being an adult there is understanding that it's not about me, it's about us, and we can't be friends because of something I did. Accepting that and understanding that whatever is said about me from that moment, I can't control. But I have to make my peace with that and say, no, I don't have to have that closure. Because ultimately, what I felt in that situation concerning that individual is that I wanted my opinion to be heard. Because I did not feel that I was being fairly put in comparison to other people as what I was being compared to. There were some very choice words said not by the person in question, but by friends of that person who have since put distance between me and them. Whether because it's just, I don't know, they don't feel like doing it, they don't necessarily see a reason in being a friend with me, they have too many connections that they have to keep up with, and it's just one extra connection. They don't really talk to me like that. Whatever. The reasons why adults grow apart in their lives. For whatever purpose, I can't hold it against her. Because that's her decision. If I hold it against her, then that's proving that I didn't actually learn a lesson from the situation that I beat you to in the first place. Even though, how can I learn a lesson if we don't have a conversation and you're not being honest with me about what it is you see as a goal? That's not helping you and I work together towards a solution. But that's whatever. Have to take that. What happens after that happens, and the fact that I'm fighting battles that I can't see because I'm shadowboxing arguments and demons that I can't even know are happening, because people who I've removed for reasons of protecting my peace, they show up in the content of my friends, people who I talk to regularly. People like Amy, for example, a member of my audience that was involved in a Cinebear 3 situation. He was in the content, he was in the VOD, he was in the communications, in their DMs, in their friend group, trying to circumvent the situation for Cinebear. I ask him to talk on camera about it. He tries to give me the runaround, tries to send me towards a person who's already deleted fucking everything. Then I go into the content and I'm studying it on camera with horror, looking at it with me, who put me onto it because she smelt shit and smelt a rat, and I didn't because I thought, no, this person should be solid. They know better. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they do not. Not only do they not know better, they do not care to know better. Because I'm supposed to be their favorite content creator, which means, Carl, you're supposed to be cool with this. And there are some cases where it's like, maybe the concern is coming from my woman. And it's a case of, well, baby, this is a world that I'm new to. I don't know how this all works. I'm just trying to be helpful. Right? That's one thing. Sometimes that helps, sometimes that doesn't. But there are cases where it's very clearly, I'm talking to the person. This is about Uzlu. This one I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about Uzlu. Literally have the conversation with him. He tries to browbeat me. Then tries to insult my intelligence, saying that I don't understand how the world works because I'm a newer content creator in his eyes. He's been on the internet longer than I have. But he doesn't actually have the ability to be on YouTube because of his political views. Then he does what he's doing and speaks in such a way where he acts as though he wants to build camaraderie, but it's just him wanting to stick a flag in my audience. I'm not sure if you saw what they originally did when they first came in, the members of Cabal, but it was the thing that I went back and forth about with my woman, because it's like, baby, it doesn't matter, it's not that big a deal, it's just words. These words don't upset me. These people want a reaction out of you. If you give them the energy of a reaction, they're going to play off that energy and they're never going to let it go. But then when I talked to him after he came to my stream one time, it was during the Myron Games Jubilee event, and he was just sitting there trying to argue and make issues on what I discovered was his side account. It was an account that he uses to lurk on YouTube, because his other account, his Mulberry posting, his Wizard posting account, does not have the ability to post normally, or is where he puts his Rumble content. In that stream that we then did between myself and Aiden as guests on his show, he puts a voice changer on me for money. Does not tell me that this is something that's going to happen, and basically ridicules me, thinking that shit was sweet. And it was from that moment, and then leading into what we learned about what was happening to you, that I said, no more.
Experience with him, he'll lie to your face.
Yes.
He will lie. I know he lied to my face that the Flexi JL was not a part of his community, because there was no fucking way that person wasn't. Mm-hmm. There was no goddamn way.
Yes. And so
I just wanted to hear, because I wanted him to leave Madnoy alone. That's all I wanted, was to stop harassing the man dealing with cancer. Okay? That just, he suddenly lost his ability to speak. He's scared of dying. He's going through all of this. He is deeply traumatized, and I need you to leave him alone. That's all I gave a shit about in that moment. And I gave him whatever the fuck he wanted.
Yes. And then looking at that situation, and then looking at the people who are now just a part of it, because there are some people who I know that are mutuals on Twitter, for example, or they are a follower of mine, that they go there, but they don't respect the place. Which has been the opinion that I have heard from most of the people who have been involved with Cabal, that are not the hard, strident members of there that have been there for years. They don't respect the place. It is a place where they wipe their feet on the space like a rug, which is what some people were doing to my environment. They were putting their feet on my couch, essentially. Seeing this happen with Ben was very disappointing. Seeing it happen with certain members of my audience, and seeing it happen with people lying to my face, it was another thing as well. But in that moment is where I decided that my boundaries mattered more than trying to play gushy-gushy with everybody that I could. I didn't necessarily even want to be a part of Cabal, necessarily, but I would rather hear from somebody else their words. Because, of course, when it came to Uzulu and his hatred of Dev, his removal from his audience for basically being the shit friend who, instead of taking something serious, decided to troll the entire way through it, I thought, of course, this should be a man of his word, because I was there the day that he got removed and lost his friendship with people like Devin and Sargon. But unfortunately, They think that if we aren't above a certain number, we're not a person that deserves respect and does not deserve to exist. So it's okay to lie directly to our faces. And taking into stock what I had to learn, dealing with the friend that I lost, and the connections that I may have lost by effectively losing them, I had to really think what mattered more. Was it about me trying to gain relevance, about trying to grow my channel, or just simply learning how to navigate these troubled waters? And understanding that the people that I meet and come across, they're going to be strong personalities, they're going to be weak personalities. They're going to be people who understand where I'm coming from, they're going to be people who have no interest in hearing my side out, and then they're going to be people like Uzulu that see it as an opportunity to trick somebody. Basically, it's like a game of life and death, and they intentionally prey on people who don't understand the rules. And they trick them into getting a null out, where they automatically lose. And they lose something like their house, their job, their money, their car. And they find it funny watching it happen to you. And when you ask them, well, why did you do it? It's like, I could. Fuck you. I found it funny. This is pleasurable to me. Guarding my boundaries from things like that became necessary. So it's like, I don't like being in that position where I have to act like that and I have to have that energy, but I would rather start being an asshole and start respecting myself, especially when it's other people and other audiences across from mutuals of mine that are disrespecting what should be a very simple and easy thing to understand, because they're just used to people allowing them to tramp on the boundaries, or somebody biting their tongue to be friendly, and it's like, I can't do that anymore. I feel like it's because I've become a step-parent. I feel that's the reason why.
Well, and also it's that a lot of people that are like emotionally mature, they don't want to just troll for the sake of destroying someone for shits and giggles. They have more respect for other people, which is, I think, something that he allowed the wrong kind of personality into it, because Cabal used to not be like that. It used to be a place I could go where, like, now I tend to use the V radio server for that, where you could lurk in the server, you could get videos to different topics, news articles, and things that I don't necessarily have the time to find myself. That was what I used the place for. Literally, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, he let this, cyberbullying troll aspect into, and let them take over. And that's when I think things went to hell.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the case because that basically was the trajectory of Kiwi Farms. And I remember having been a Kiwi farmer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I was a smart person back then, even though I was still technically a fat asset back then. Because that's where a lot of my backstory and lore around people like Smug Rocco comes from, now under the name Yokai Rider. I told her to her face, do not get involved with situations with people. If you're going to act like you're a video game journalist, then you need to actually learn how to do the job. Instead of doing that, she's like, I'm going to hire mutuals of ours and friends of mine, and I'm going to lead them on a scam. And I'm going to make a website. I'm going to have this German design art for me, and then I'm going to hold him hostage by using the German rules around pornography as a justification to punish him if he acts out of line. And then I'm going to ask you to get involved too, Carl. And then I'm going to ignore your advice. I'm going to use my boyfriend as a shield so that I can ignore when I'm getting called out for being stupid and dumb, because I think that I can get away with the same shit that Ian Miles Strong gets away with. I'm going to inspect element tweets, and then when you tell me to not do something, I'm going to disobey you and just do it anyways, because, lol, I continue to go fight my battles, right? And while it was helpful in certain situations, it was not in many. Up to the point where it was going to cause Amy to commit suicide, and I had to decide what's more important, Amy and her daughter having a mom, or me having a job at a pizzeria. If I wanted to be selfish, if I had made the choice to be what some people have tried to call me in private, where they think I don't hear them, but they don't realize how many people actually tell me things. If I was to be selfish, if I was to be really selfish, I could have not done that with Amy, and then Amy would not be around. And we would probably know nothing at all what happens with her kid. If I was to really be selfish, I could have left Smug Rocco and other people like her high and dry and just simply dipped out. And then I would have actually been a scumbag worthy of being followed and stalked and called upon. But I don't do these things because that's not in my character. It's never been in my character. But unfortunately, because I have the smaller audience, and despite how often I can suggest to people, hey, if you want people to talk to me, you need to let them know that you watch my content and that I should be a good conversation starter for you to hang out and talk with, personally, privately, publicly, however. There are people who are convinced that I'm some kind of dual grifter. Where first the lie was, this black guy isn't the guy who runs the account, it's the white guy who actually turned out to be his gay best friend. Then it became, actually, single player Carl isn't the thing that he says he is, he's just some fucking loser. And now that I have a woman, I have a stepchild that I take care of, I'm responsible for 2 family households, I have multiple responsibilities that lay on my shoulder, I have a growing audience, granted, it's not growing at the rate that I probably would have wanted, at the speed at which I would have hoped that it would have, from the first shout-out video that I was given from Devin in 2022. Because I can remember one other person from that would have been Stardust, who now uses the @name SmallTalkMe, which I don't know what the fuck that's about. I don't know why she changed off that name. But the same trajectory that I could have possibly thought I would have been on, should my best friend, the other best friend, the one that got killed by car collision, the one that I have a memorial to on my channel to, that I'm never taking down. If I had not been the kind of person that I was when I made that video, we likely would not be having this conversation right now, Weezy. And I would have been a mean, hateful asshole of a man. And I would have learned no life lessons, and nothing would have changed because I would have blamed everybody else for my problems, instead of taking accountability for things I should have. And yet, there are still people who are just, for the fun of it, they just make up lies about me. It's like, I don't know how else to tell them to leave me alone. Even when the people who are doing it, that I've crossed community banned out of my content because I don't want them anywhere nearby here. Because they are not learning the lesson. They're just going somewhere else, bad-mouthing me, and then repeating the reasons why I removed them in the first place, thus justifying the reason why I did it. I don't know what to do, other than to ask for either a mutual of mine to help me with the growth process, or to seek out the connection with the creators that I would like to talk to myself. Because if I have to ask my audience to do it, it again feels like begging, just like a money problem. But then it's the attention problem, right? Because if the reputation that I get is that I put my foot down and I'm the devil, I don't put my foot down and I'm a pushover, I try to be nice and I'm called a coward, what am I supposed to do? Murder someone? Become a pornographer? These are not answers.
The biggest catch-22 you have when you with the internet and parasocial relationships in general. Like, they have this idea of you that doesn't actually exist in the real world, just in their own mind.
Yes. And it's like I've tried to have those conversations with people in private. Literally, like when I first started the Versus Chat content for the audience engagement, I literally had that conversation with one of the members of my audience. Do you know what that person did?
I do not.
They went, while Ben was still my co-host, they went to Ben and tried to tattle to him about me, saying things about me that eventually came down to, Carl doesn't have the ability to grow his audience, he doesn't know how to do content, he should have let me talk to Aiden all the time during that content, there was no reason why he should have told me that I was holding up his content, and it's because they were holding up my content. I tried to get them to understand, listen, I'm trying to direct us in the direction of a conversation. We can't have a conversation if you're just gushing with this person while they have a limited amount of time to be here because she lives in a different time zone than I do. I don't have the ability to have her all day. Even if I could, I shouldn't need to for this content. It's only supposed to take 6 hours. It's not supposed to take 3 days of 12 hours each. My microphone is not an open mic night. While I appreciate your opinion, there is a time and there is a place. It's certainly not every single time, and certainly not in the middle of me making a point. Because one of the worst criticisms that I think I keep hearing is people saying that I'm long-winded. And yet, when I get to a point and I'm able to discuss something, and I'm not being stun-locked by the chat room, I can get through a point really quick. When I'm on somebody else's content, I can be very short-winded, and I can be very direct, very quickly. Because the way that I want to get into the content on my channel is not the way that I might be able to on theirs. And there's a little bit of toe-stepping there, too. Because maybe I don't want to piss somebody off. If it's somebody like Jay kind of knows. She kind of gets it. She understands now. We've worked on it since when our friendship started. But anywhere else, I feel like it's people making shit up. Because most of the people in my audience are into live form content. Even multiple members of them being fans of things like Every Frame of Oz. And yet somehow, streams that last less than 6 hours, they can't find the time to pay attention to. Or they can't even find a minute to check in on something. Or because they don't like using Discord, they're not able to know when I post things, even though I will then cross-post them across my social media platforms. But then, when I show up on the content, it's all, hey, ho, hey, how you doing, man, hey, and it feels fake to me. Like I've caught them with their pants down. Because if I say it, it's bad, it's lame, he didn't get his point across. When another person says the exact same thing, the exact same way, with the exact same argument, suddenly it's fucking gold, and they can't stop repeating it.
That must be frustrating.
It is 1 part tone policing and 2 parts, actually, you're not as smart as them. And I'm not gonna rat on people's favorites. I'm not gonna rat on their idols. I'm not gonna shit on people who I don't know personally, because they don't know me personally. But it's like when I was supposed to set up a talk with Sid Alpha. Or this talk that was supposed to be set up between Horror with her as a moderator for Colt Cassie Cage and McDizzle Gaming, who was another person that somebody like Sid Alpha was trying to set up. I go to them, I say, hey, I'd like to have a conversation with you on camera. Would you like to do this for content? And instead of actually asking me opinions and us going through and talking about whatever disagreements he thought would have come up on the content live on air, he instead skims my channel, mistakes Balatro for an actual DraftKings or fantasy sports league betting gambling program, tells me, no, I don't support content thieves that are gamblers, because he literally skimmed one of my sizzle reels for weekly content posts for the people that whenever Carl at Home would run and I had the time to edit down the talking points from a particular piece of content from that live stream, he took that. He took a VOD that was like maybe a 2-3 hour cut down VOD of talking points that I edited myself, alongside clips of me looking at and listening to the content and replying and reacting to the content while using Balatro to keep my hands busy, and he thought that that was me promoting gambling. And the moment that he did that, that became the inspiration for my Balatro video in the first part, and then in the second part being to why I now carry myself with the energy that I do, where when a person accuses me of something, I'm immediately on their ass, because I would deliver the energy that I give now. Because I used to be a lot more meek. I used to be a lot more careful with my words, because I didn't like to be short and cross with things, because, you know, who knows what happens when you badmouth the wrong person. But when it comes to the detriment of somebody basically calling me multiple things that they shouldn't call me, but basically calling me a grifter, it's like, bitch, fuck you. I've wasted more time in my life playing video games than a person has ever spent looking into some of these topics that these people just agree with blindly because their favorite content creator told them to. It's technically how I feel about people like Smash JT. Because sure, I feel bad for Jeff Torzia. I really do. You shouldn't have a witch like that following you around social media trying to stalk you. And certainly not her personal friend Dave Paul Riviera and his audience acting like this is a moment to pretend that they're Spartacus, because he's desperate to try and get a leg up not just on Jeff, but also on Mark Kern. And Mark Kern's got his own goddamn problems, just like Carrilus Rambo had his own problems, which it's good that he got out of doing content, and he's trying to focus on school, but he's popping his head back up again, and people are spinning it back up again. Because, yeah, these people are innocent victims to people who are acting like inconsiderate bullies, just like I have been. But they live in a form of virtue drama that I don't understand. They don't have real problems. They could ignore them at any time. They could just simply power through and push through and ignore them. But they keep giving energy to these problems. And it's weird. Certainly there's some people that are hearing me that could say the same thing to what I'm saying. But it's like, you don't get it. You literally cannot understand until you're at the scale that I'm at, where every interaction I do directly affects my career. And it's not fair because I'm not able to defend myself. Because if I was a larger figure, I wouldn't have to. Somebody sees somebody bad-mouthing me in a chat room telling honest, direct lies. They can say, no, he didn't. That's not what Carl thinks. And then the moment that they see it, they clip it and they show me. That's how I originally caught Shark03 lying about me. And the moment that he did, I asked Jay, hey, I got 4 hours before I have to go into work and work a 10-hour graveyard shift. And we cutted that video and we smashed his shit out the park. And he has been irrelevant since. And watering my flowers on that feels good. Because somebody lying about what I think is personally disrespectful to me. But then, the way that it is right now, in terms of size, because I don't have as big as an audience as some of the smaller creators do, maybe just in terms of like drama liquidity, I don't start shit fights on the internet constantly, because I don't think that's important. I would much rather retweet hentai. I would much rather retweet hentai than get into dumb slap fights on Twitter. That means that there's nothing going on over here. Despite the fact there's always something going on over here. I don't know. I don't know how to get it. That's my rant. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. It's just that that's what this is. It's drama farming. That's what most of this has devolved into, and what we were saying earlier about how I can't stand to watch that shit anymore.
I wish that it would go back to how it was during 2014 when I was in college. I would honestly prefer that, but I don't think it's gonna go back there. Not really. I don't think.
No.
I don't think.
You can never go back.
Yeah, I don't think it can go back to how it used to be, because I don't think the people who are involved in the situations even really want it to go back to how it was. Because in the attention economy, the loudest and the most annoying person gets to win, and that's irritating as shit. Because of course,
and that's how we got here, to be honest.
Yes, because how do I beat somebody who's just going to take the drama that they're involved in? Like, here's a good example. Tectone. The newest clone of Asmongold, if you can say we're all not just cloning ourselves after Asmongold in the general sense. Anytime this person just speaks on a topic and a subject matter, I feel bile rise in my throat. Not because I dislike him or I hate him or whatever. It's because where it's important for him to actually do something of value that actually benefits someone other than himself, I feel like he is always using the fact that he was being victimized and harassed by the likes of that Israeli girl. Or she's not actually Muslim or Israeli. My brain short-circuited for a second. By Frogan. I feel like that victim status allows them to ignore the fact that he said, yeah, I get view-botted. Companies pay me to get view-bots, and I take it. Because, lol, bro, everybody's cheating. Why don't I cheat too? I can't fuck with that, inherently. Like, I'm sure he's a nice person. I'm sure he puts a lot of energy into things. He's very passionate, very patriotic. But it's like, the worst kind of skinwalker is being given opportunity. And on one hand, it's like, damn, I guess I'm chopped liver. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, damn, I guess we don't actually like hearing honest truths here. Because if I say that, it must be jealousy. It's not something that should be very clear and obvious to everybody else who sees it in the room. Like, this person is clearly counting their money, while the rest of us are concerned with why it seems so easy for these people to keep getting this infinite money glitch to work for them. And for what it's worth, it feels like it continues being a problem, despite everybody should be fully aware of exactly how problematic it is that this continues to be the way that it operates. At least in terms of social media online. And for me, it's maybe it's a size thing. But I don't feel that it is normal or expected that I should be expected to kiss the ring in order to have a career. I don't want to become a choreographer to have a career. I don't want to have to make my woman show skin to have a career. I don't want to have to Adam Tutu or Lenga plug my relationship with her for us to become successful and to have a good life. I don't want to have to support lies or liars in order to make shit possible. I don't want to have to compromise in ways that are unfair. Yeah, go ahead.
No, again, that's you're at the point where you have to sell out your principles, and that's not something anyone wants to do. And part of the problem is you have to kind of sell your soul and then grow, and it's just kind of, I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to get involved in it. I wouldn't want to be a YouTuber in this day and age.
Mm-hmm. Because when
the platform's actively going against you too. Mm-hmm. Like, look at everything that YouTube and Twitch and everything else has been doing. It's more of a frequency and systemic issue in the majority of the business.
than it is something that necessarily, like, makes cognizant sense when you look at it from a business standpoint, because there are multiple factors that are allowing this to happen. Some of which have recently come up and have been changed by the fact that YouTube has been forced to basically admit that they were doing something that years before they lied and said that they weren't. But it's the second order magnitude problem. Because that has happened, and because they did that, and because this is a factor that is directly affecting all of the things that I could do, things that I would otherwise not do, I have to do, because that's how the business works. Things that I would not want to talk about, that I have to talk about, or I have to talk about because that's the way that the business works. And stuff that I would have talked about anyways, people are going to turn their elbows up at and say, well, you shouldn't be speaking about this. You don't know anything about this. And sometimes they are 100% right. Like, I probably should not be a person who has to talk about politics, but that doesn't mean that I'm not qualified. I've had more government experience than most YouTubers on the internet. And that's real government experience. Not I was a part of a program. Actually helping people and living my values and explaining them. Whether I get politically harassed about it by family members or not. But that's an entirely separate topic. For what it's worth, I have more reason to have these opinions and to have grown into the person that I've become. Not just because of how I feel about the situation, but specifically because of what it actually does and affects because of how I've had to deal with the situation. And how I've grown because of the circumstances people decided to put me in. I would not be like this if it had not been necessary for me to grow as a part of becoming a better content creator, becoming a better person, more or less becoming a man. Because in many ways that matter, my growth has been stifled. And I don't mean growth in channel, I mean like personal human growth. Actively stifled. Because in terms of the words I think they would use if they wanted to speak on it as like a situational, generational thing, I am what we would call a failure to launch from the nest. But it is a failure to launch that was caused by something that was out of my control. Yet despite that, I am still the victim of that circumstance. Whether I am afforded the ability to say that I am a victim and then act accordingly is one thing removed from another. But in the sense that I am saying this, watching where I was a student in high school, and then I graduate in 2012, and then I become what I am today, there is a very clear line of trajectory that is fully explained by my actions. And exactly what needed to happen happened because it needed to happen the way that it happened. That's exactly what happened. Everything from friends that I've lost, to connections that I have to this day, to this conversation that we're currently having, and the people who are listening to it. Everything happened the way it was supposed to, because that is exactly who I am at my core, and that was the lesson that I needed to learn in that situation I was finding myself in. I didn't need to become anything other than what I currently am, and the fact that I am what I am says everything about me that anybody really needs to know. But whether or not they learn that from me, or they learn it from a Rob's Media video, or a Glitch Posters video, or a drama video where someone's talking at me at a distance, single player Carl, man or mauled, I don't know what to tell you, bro, but I'm here. I'm here and I'm nappy. And it's so dumb that that's the way it works. But, you know, if you can't beat them, join them and laugh harder than them. It's worked out for the last 5 months, or technically longer than 5 months, 2 years, 5 months. It's worked for the last 2.5 years. Why stop when I see results? I'm not hurting anybody. No one's getting murdered because of something I said. I don't tolerate the kind of political violence I have watched some of my friends and contemporaries that claim they're my friends have been. I've been very, very, very Ashkenazi-filled about this. I might as well get an honorary unblock from June, because I remember when I was a child, or when I acted like a child, and I remember making the egg jokes, and I remember when she showed up in the chat room of a conversation on, like online, where I was talking with Jay on something. I don't remember what the subject matter of the stream was, but I was calling in with Jay on the stream, and I remember it was during the time in which I was playing Once Human. So it had to have been last year, if not this year. So 2024. I remember apologizing to June and saying, hey, I feel bad about this. I've spent some time, and I think the way that I acted was immature, stupid, dumb, unfair, and I want to try to do better about the fact that I acted like this and did this. Granted, it ended up not going the way that I would have wanted it to go, because I'm still blocked. But she also claims that she doesn't use Twitter like that, so there's that too. But it's like, the moment in which I took accountability for dumb shit that was happening, because I was too busy being careless and basically doing like what other people were doing. I was more concerned with the memes. I was more concerned with the jokes. The moment that I started being more enlightened with the blam blams when it came to blocking, and I started removing myself from these situations, I started noticing that the people in my environment were responsible for my success, just like the people that were in my environment were responsible for my failures and downfall. And when I stopped being irony poisoned, or stopped allowing myself to be irony poisoned as much as one like me could be, and that's really hard, people. That's saying something. I might not be autistic, but I know I'm anally retentive, and it's basically the same thing. The more that I started really actually understanding my place in everything, and learning to be sincere about how I was treating everything, the more I realized that I was at fault for my own problems, just as much as I could blame other people. It's not like I'm going to blame the problem on them. I have no accountability. Everybody around me was the problem, and once I removed them, then I continued being unproblematic. It's more like I took accountability for my shadow work. I did the shadow work to understand and come to terms with and learn to respect what I had as a part of my shortcomings. I recognized my failings, not just the failings that I had for myself, but my failings that I had for other people. I did the work to approach how to better reconciliate and ameliorate the situations I found myself in. And I just simply did not let myself make excuses, because there's nobody else. I have to be the one to make this shit happen, because it is on me and my skill that I become successful or not. I have to grow this audience, brick by brick. I have to build the algorithm for that audience, brick by brick. I have to be responsible for being the forward-facing person, because unfortunately, the guy who would have been my liaison PR agent, that's like, listen, Carl knows not what he does. He is too nappy and black to be responsible for this. Look at him. He just didn't do nothing. He wasn't even in the kitchen when it happened. And it's like, no, I'm the cook in the kitchen. I'm the one who's the driver of the bus. I'm the one who's responsible with the content and the things that I say on the content. Nobody can put words in my mouth that I don't already think myself. If I am finding myself like this in these situations where I feel like I am being taken out of context, is it that I'm being taken out of context, or is that I don't know what it is that I am a part of, and that I'm effectively having to answer for? Because I shouldn't be confused. I should know exactly what I am, who I am, and what I'm doing. And if I can't answer that, then there's something wrong, and I need to stop what I'm doing and take accountability on what it is that I'm doing and figure out what's going on. The second that I did that, I felt instantly better. But even then, it still feels like polyglot of the mouth, because I have to explain it. I have to talk. I can't just say it as shorthand words and like save face, because I'm not afforded that anymore. Which I hate to say it. It's like, no, you kind of don't, Carl, but no, I kind of do. That was stolen from me. Yet again, by the people who were originally here that we have since removed. They stole from me my ability to be able to keep things to myself. Because by making it a matter of drama, I have no choice but to be involved. I was at my ability to not be involved and to remove myself from the situation and to treat it like just drama that I can ignore, bullshit. Hey, bullshit today, here today, gone tomorrow. I can't do that. They made it a matter of information and a matter of topic and a matter of concern. So because they made it a matter of concern, I have to treat it as such. But I get to control the horizontal and the vertical. I'm not forced to respond at a distance. I can be able to decide that the way that I'm going to navigate the situation will be the way that I decide in the moment. So if I decide that I'm going to say something, I have to accept the fact that if I'm going to be petty, I'm going to get the response that pettiness gets. So if I act petty, people are going to be petty with me. It is what it is. If I try to remain radio silent on something, and people are prying me and like, hey Carl, I need to know the secret information. I need to know the context behind this reason you're talking about this thing. Maybe you don't. And I have to be willing to say, listen, you don't need to know. It's not that big of a deal. Or if you will know at a later date, not at this moment in time while I'm handling a problem. And I gotta let it be that, and I gotta let it be that. And if somebody cannot accept the fact that that's what's happening, well, they gotta kick rocks. I can't do it. There are too many things going on in my life that I cannot be everybody's babysitter. We were supposed to be someone else's job, which is theirs, to manage their own behavior. I'm not supposed to be my brother's keeper or my sister's keeper, but I am supposed to be my mother's guardian. I am supposed to be her caretaker. And as much as Star can help, I have to hold my head up because it's just my reputation that's on the line. No one else's, just mine. And if I fall, ain't nobody finna catch me. Maybe in the past, in a different life, in a different way, in a different timeline, that would have been the case. But unfortunately, Weezy, while there are people like you who will help out every now and again, it's not supposed to be your job to. You know what I mean?
So more just a friend looking out for a friend. That's more what that is. That's
yes.
That's normal relationship for me anyway. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just as far as it can't be. It's the online sphere is not. I'm an old fag, so like I remember the internet when it was forum conversations, and it's not the internet I remember.
Yeah, it's not the internet that I grew up on. The old world that we used to live in is dead, and this new world was a world that we were not prepared for. I live in a time period where I'm surrounded by people whose entire view of himself is held up by Instagram likes, clicks, Twitch likes, clicks, TikTok likes and clicks, and thirst posts. One of my friends is basically a person who steals content just as much as Ian Miles Chong, but because he was one of the first people to be famous, internet famous, on Twitter doing it, everybody turns a blind eye to it. But then, I'm also surrounded by people that believe that their audiences are banks. They're bank accounts. That they can go onto their camera and say, woe is me, I hope somebody buys me this video game, wink, 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 especially looking at you women. And that immediately 1,000 donations will come flooding in, and that content creation is when you do the same thing happening on Twitch, but it's different because it's your audience. And then people deeper in my sphere of influence thinking that you can't be serious, you have to be a troll all the time, you have to be aloof, you cannot be sincere, you don't have anything you're passionate about because you don't care about anything, so who cares if your personal favorite things get destroyed or ruined? You don't have the allegiance to them. Yet for the people who do, they're new fags. They don't actually know anything. Except I'm probably one of the most older ones amongst us. At least I'm probably younger than most, but I'm one of the young old new fags. Well, we have become an old fag. Because I've seen way too much in my line of duty for somebody to tell me that I'm younger than I am. And I don't like the positions that I find myself in because of these behaviors that other people have as value judgments. They ultimately do not affect my value judgment inherently, but the fact that I keep getting compared against these value judgments before I'm even able to defend myself from word go and word jump, and then needing to make sure that I remember how to do my job well and not become corrupt, that is a lot of pressure to put on somebody. And then for people to turn around and say, but you need to have my help to do it, and every single person that's trying to stick their hand in my hand saying, let's make a deal, they all basically have AIDS hands. I don't want AIDS hands. That's a very long form way of saying I am very sick of I'm sick of the community, air quote community, because most people aren't really in a community. It's just a bunch of people in a room. Although amongst here, there's obviously real community, and amongst the people,
one big struggle session.
yeah,
These
and,
social communities are one big struggle session, and I hate it. I hate it here.
yeah, because as far as it goes with things like the content drive, it is not a desire to beg that some people have to give them money or I'll literally die. But it's like, I want to give back in a real way that in the beginning of my career, I would not have been able to do because I was literally holding everything together. Even then, it was still a hobby and it hadn't become real to me, which I guess is part of the reason why I had the trajectory of growth that I did. Then as I grew as a person, and I am now where I am here, and I can do more things, I want to be able to show that the money doesn't just disappear into a Cayman's bank account. It gets put directly back into people's hands. I want to inspire people to talk to each other again and actually get to know one another, instead of it being this giant fucking drama game that feels like it should have a Netflix adaptation. And I know that I'd be played by Kevin Hart. I'd be played by Kevin Hart. You would probably have one of the 3 funny white comedians that they pull off at SNL. Jay would be played by either Queen Latifah or some actress that they get to do a voice double, where they get a black actress for the body, but it's a white voice actress like Janet Varney. And Lord knows who they would get as white as Wonder Bread to look like Ned Flanders to stand in for Ma. I don't know who the fuck they picked for Poe. Poe might just appear as himself. No, I know exactly who. Childish Gambino. They'd use Donald Glover to represent Poe. If I never get into a big social club full of these literal who's that are here today and gone tomorrow, I will be more than happy. But at the least, at the end of the day, I would like to die knowing that the thing that I built actually runs and functions, and people who are in my community and talk to each other and talk to other mutuals that are also content creators actually like being around each other, and it's not just a bunch of people that are trying to gather secrets for somebody else. Yeah, I think that's what I feel like I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because it's a lot of people like pulling information so they can backbite each other. It's just,
it's so gay.
I think the internet now, it's my belief that it really enables narcissistic personalities to do their thing, and it creates a sort of just a mean girl kind of. It's mean girls behavior. It's immature and it's nasty and
yes.
I don't have any use for it.
I feel that when it comes to the women get it worse because they're being socially torn apart in a way that I can understand, because I guess I'm more effeminate because I was raised by women. I'm much more in tune to these social games that are being played. For the men, it's more like reputation damage. For the women, it's social contracts in private, where you literally are being blocked out and frozen out before you even realize the damage is done, because you can't pick up on these things that are being gossiped about. And you can only hope that the friends you have are really, truly, at least allied to you, if not your friends. And because of, let's use Uzulu as the example, because of people like Uzulu, they are more than happy to play the game for the reasons already explained. They love to prey on the people who are unaware and take from them their power that they didn't realize they have. But also, it trains people that if you want to grow, and you want to be the big name in the marquee in the lights, you want to stab as many backs as possible so that your back remains unstabbed. But eventually, you just become rubbed raw because, well, why stop at not stabbing people's backs and keeping your own back unstabbed when you could start stabbing backs at yourself? Because, hey, maybe you told your friend one too many times, if you don't take an opportunity, I'll take the opportunity. And then it becomes like when the best friend steals your girlfriend and marries what would have been your wife because one slip up in a conversation means that, yes, this is my chance. I must Code Geass him. I must Death Note him. Because it's either me or you. And it's like, no, it's all of us. We can all get to the top of the hill together. And some people would much rather do it by themselves because at least they can then say, I am the one that made this possible instead of we're the ones that made this possible. Saffron, you've had your hand up for so long. Let me bring you in here. And then I will bring Kaz in here because I did say that I was going to play Helldivers and I think he's interested in playing as well. Yes, yes, Saffron, sweetheart. Hello, how are you doing,
Hello.
girl? How are you doing, girl? Yes.
How you doing?
Well, fired up as you can clearly hear.
Yeah, I heard quite a bit. I did want to touch on the thing. I mean, I guess it's kind of personal, and I won't really name names, but in a few servers, I feel like I've been going through like, you know, like some difficult times. I feel like a lot of people have been like purposely ignoring me, and I've been in some of these communities for a while, and I've been trying to like not be as argumentative and like be chill, but even feel like doing that is like not helping my situation.
Would I happen to know people who were in one of these servers, and would they have happened to have been somebody trying to stop me from being friends with someone else?
No.
Okay.
It's not
Okay,
anybody
so not that one. Okay, got it.
No. It's not anything like that. I mean, it's not anybody that you're mutuals with or somebody that me and you know.
Okay.
It's like, you know, there's times I think where I think people in there like me or they're okay with me, but I feel like over time I've been just really hated. Like remember going onto somebody's stream after a raid, and I said something along the lines of like I was making a comment about like the bingo game that they were playing, and I was asking, you know, yeah, this is a little confusing because they were like they had a bingo card on screen and I couldn't see it because I couldn't read the text because I was on my phone at the time, and when I stated some confusion about what was going on in the bingo game, I got muted. So I don't know what the problem is there.
I think this was just somebody deciding to brush you off.
I guess because I was in their server and I thought we didn't have any issues between us because like we've had some misunderstandings and we've had some arguments, but you know, I've apologized and I was just like, okay, I won't talk about it anymore or whatever. And I guess they just removed me without even saying anything.
Well, that's shitty.
What'd you say, Carl?
I said that was shitty. That was shitty of them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, I feel like I'm kind of just, doing some reflecting, and I just feel like I've been annoying people without even really knowing it. But I'm also recognize it might be just like because of me being on the spectrum and a lot of people not really being understanding about it too well. And I don't want people to take this the wrong way, is that I'm using it as an excuse. It's just that like I try my best to be understanding with other people and their feelings on stuff, and I try to communicate that. But when people do this whole brushing off thing, or they like are constantly just being sarcastic when there's no need to, it makes me upset, and I get frustrated, and I don't want to take it out on them. It's more like I take it out on myself because, I always have the thought, what if I actually did say something wrong?
Yeah, so to characterize what you're saying, you feel like the people that you go to, because you make it clear that there is a barricade that you're trying to get across and trying to get over, and you're taking all the natural and necessary steps to communicate that ahead of time, and so that everybody is aware of what's going on, and you feel that they are intentionally or somehow dropping the ball inadvertently to the point where you feel this intense level of pressure, both on yourself and on the social strain that you're involved in, where when it becomes more obvious that they are very clearly trying to shirk you aside, like you are the black sheep of the family, that you feel like it's your fault because there's something that you may or may not have done that, because of your disability, is disabling you from being able to recognize like social cues, when it's honestly that they are treating you like you are an eyesore, and the lack of communication and confusion is causing you duress very similar to the duress that I have. Would that be close to a good summarization of what you're saying?
Yes. That does sound accurate.
Okay.
And yeah, I understand Aqua. It's just that when I try to push myself to be more sociable in the first place, because I've been gone long periods of time without even really talking to anybody, and I've had some conflicting emotions, and I guess, and I don't know if this. I mean, I hope this doesn't upset anyone when I say this, but there's times where I feel like I need to get rid of my emotions so that I can be seen as normal, kind of.
I mean, you would not be the only person who feels like that. Because, especially when people would tell me, Carl, why don't you just use smaller words? It's like, so you want me to not be myself in order to be socially accepted? Yeah, fuck you, I'm not doing that. I am more than happy with being alone because I am not lonely in my own head, let alone with other people. Granted, there's like a time and a place, because there's a difference between effective communication and just hanging with the bros. But there is in no way where I need to change something fundamental about myself that is not something that is a problem, that is not an issue of my character, but is something that is like an affectation, an affix, that the other person perceives is holding me back outside of my personhood, that needs to be removed from myself in order to become more acceptable. Because if I am being forced to make that choice, or they're propositioning that choice be done, rather than us trying to figure out together how they're doing it, but they're coming to me saying, with my hat in my hand, that I need to do this, otherwise this doesn't happen. It's like when that thing that both you, myself, and Bass FCZ, Zers experienced, when that thing happened, that happened to me, with you there as a public witness. Because in that situation, to speak on that, now that we're several months removed from that situation, the way that I felt in that moment was, here's a group of people that you brought to me through your mutual connection to Zers. Zers didn't have a problem with me. I didn't have a problem with Zers. Lawrence, that owner of that server, didn't have a problem with me. And you were friends with them, but you had been in my audience longer than them. And then, on those 2 nights where, I can't remember the woman's name anymore, but I remember the other one's name is CJ, where they chose to go out of their way to make a psychodrama to justify what was proven as me outright calling their bluff and saying, no, you're lying to my face, you're trying to tell me that I'm not good enough to be his friend. I spend more than enough time going to them and trying to get to know them as a person. They don't spend any time getting to know me as a person. But I'm supposed to bit down on my knees and effectively suck their cock and suck his cock, because predictions that I could only make because they are refusing to give me information that I am asking them blatantly for, where they then say, because I feel like this, I'm a pillar of this community. I could laugh in his face and say, no, go fuck yourself, I'm not doing that. Because if I wanted to do that in this situation, it would have been very easy to do, because there's not a single reason they had a problem. It was just quite simply, the girl, the other woman that was there. I don't remember her name. But the woman that said,
you don't have to say her name. I mean,
no, I'm not trying to say her name. I'm trying to remember who she was. But all I can remember was that nasty ass DM that she sent me while all that was going on. Do you remember the one? The one where it was, I can't wait till we get rid of you. The spiteful one. Yeah. Where they used you as a weapon against me. While I said, the reason I have this opinion is because you're being dishonest with me. They tried to use what they saw as an unfair action, as a justification and a cudgel to attack my character, while recording me without my knowledge. And only when I said, I am recording this for my own protection, because I don't trust you, that they reveal that they were doing it, that leads to me having the opinion that I have developed that I just went on the tangent about, just now, with Wheezy. There is no reason why that should have happened, because it should have been as serious as simple as it started, which was myself being asked to talk about my life. I slip a comment about my backstory, about my history. They asked me to go in detail. I say, are you sure? They say, yeah, I want to hear it. I then talk to it in detail. She gets angry and leaves that room and goes out for CJ to go to whatever the fuck, complaining, saying, oh my god, why is he so explicit? Why is he being so nasty? And it's like, I told you that I used to work as a male escort. Contracted. And you asked me to spare no detail. Otherwise, I'm lying. And now after telling you the truth, you're going to treat me as though I must have been making it up. I must have been performing for you. That was the words that CJ said. That was the one that really pissed me off. You're performing. This is a performance. You enjoy performing like this because I think you're lying to try and yuck our yums. And yet, he lied to my face for 2 nights in a row. And just refused to be honest. Meanwhile, saying that he was 2 out of 3 leaders, including Zeus and Lawrence, that make up the majority of what they claim was that friend group, while also acting like Destiny. Unironically, being a debate retard, trying to antagonize other people, except where he does not have power, he clearly does not act that way. Because why did he feel comfortable doing that? It's because he must have done it before. I'm not the only person he's tried that on. I'm just one of the stronger personalities that have pushed back against him. Which is why it had to be a 2 out of 3 vote. It had to be that in that moment, they needed to get Lawrence to justify that to happen. And then after we had that discussion with Lawrence, and I explained to him, here's why I thought this, here's the information they didn't tell you, this was going on in the middle of it. I tried to keep the peace, because this was already a tense situation, but if you had had a calmer head, and calmer heads had prevailed, and we had exposed all this normally, this wouldn't have happened. That's why I felt like that. And that's why I've been looking at this through the eyes that I've developed. Because when we put horror in charge of disciplinary action, and I was able to focus more on being able to have fun, do content, and not worry about the interpersonal politics that shouldn't even exist in my server, let alone in my audience, let alone in the community that we have here that crosses over into other places. The night and day difference of pressure was gone, because it made me very angry and very bitter in that moment. Because basically, because I tried to be friendly, I am being punished for opening up about myself. So what I should do is I should lock down my heart and be an icebox. But then, in another situation, comparable later in the future, more recently, when my friend Amy asked me to help her with League, something that I know extensively well, as I've spent a majority of my life dealing with esports and esports content, she has friends of hers that are basically raising her stream, making it impossible to have communication during a live stream match. And then join into the call, into a casual match, and then are acting like, well, why does he always sound like he's bitter? Why does it always sound like he's angry? No, dude, did you try asking me about what recently happened to me? A tree fell in my house. And I've got a bunch of other things that's happening. Oh, and did you consider the fact that you were being annoying as fuck, and that you were expecting me to just bite my tongue and allow you to be annoying as fuck? To the point where you categorize my opinion in the middle of a situation as, well, are you happy? Are you happy that we did this thing? I'm like, no, not really. I'm not happy. Because I'm not happy that you're trying to act like your friendship to Amy is more important than your decorum on her live stream. You're disrespecting her space while disrespecting me and expecting me to bite my tongue and not say what I have to think. That's not acceptable. And that kind of behavior I'm not going to tolerate, even if it is my friend Amy. It's not going to stop anything personal between me and her, but it's like, okay, I can't do content with Amy on camera ever again. I'm not going to tolerate it. Why? Because I'm not going to put myself in a situation with people judging me for something that they have no reason to judge me about, full of people who, unironically, were the rejects banned from my audience. That basically went to her and said, man, Carl's tripping. We're going to go over here and continue doing the exact behavior that got us banned from his audience. And then we're going to heckle him in the middle of the live stream.
Bro, that is some shit.
It is some shit. It is some shit. It is some shit. But that's the long and short of something like that. Dealing with things like that is not supposed to be our job. Doesn't matter if you're autistic, doesn't matter if you have learning disability, doesn't matter if you're fucking got downs. It should not be your job to have to manage the emotions of other grown adults who in this room should have been able to open their mouths and said something, but instead chose to play a social game. We're not in high school anymore. It's unacceptable.
I mean, I notice this is something that women do, like, because the issues I have is with another woman that I thought I were cool with, but it seems like these days, you know, a lot of the, I don't know what it is. I think women have a thing against those who are actually autistic. I don't know how to explain it.
It's not specific to autism, actually. It's just a fact of that there's a very immature personality that thrives in the online sphere. Because, like, I am one of those women that just does not tolerate that shit. Just not at all. And I find that I don't thrive in the internet space because I don't do that.
Yes.
And it's kind of like this junior high, immature, has not matured past their mean girls phase that just wants to, you know, pull that shit. They thrive in the online sphere because they're the ones that get to be terminally online. And it is someone who's like, you know, unless they are a content creator like Carl, they, like myself, I don't have time to be online all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm not there. So the kind of people that are very young or unemployed.
Yes.
And so you're not getting the cream of the crop coming in and being in these spaces. You're getting basically the losers. And this is how losers behave, like losers.
Yes.
And that's what you're getting. That's what you're getting. They're the kind of people that will, you know, they're basically bullies, and they get the ability to bully people anonymously and with no repercussions.
Yes.
That's what you're getting.
Go ahead.
I mean, here's the thing. She started talking to me because she wanted to talk by somebody else. And then when I explained, yeah, I'm in the server with this other guy, and I've had kind of beef with him for a while, and I don't like how he acts in the server and such, and I've had to look at his output of art for like 3 years, and this is why it's such bothers me. And she's like, well, I don't think it's healthy to focus on people like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm explaining my situation with that person.
Yeah.
And you came talking to me about somebody else who I don't even know, and I don't think that person was even that bad that she was talking about. But you know,
it's basically a bunch of individuals that when they speak and they open their mouth and then immediately try to speak on issues that I would be expected to talk on, the level of decorum that I have when I am expected to be that representative that basically has to be the Jiminy Cricket of somebody like Poe. Like, during Digital Blackface, when Burner Show tried to sabotage, corrupt the show, and turn it into gay ops, because of Poe's large fan base, there was one Google employee who happened to give him the code to get back into his account so he could get back to it, and it's been dormant ever since because Poe does nothing with it because he just does not make content. He would much rather shitpost on the internet, which that's fine. Then that situation, it is the job of people like me to be the ones that are basically the forward-facing individuals who understand how to use their words correctly. Because if I'm supposed to be the type of person that grew from that environment and was childish in that way and had to work through that maturity the hard way, these individuals, they are akin to a socialite bully that, as Wheezy described, have never matured, never have to grow up, and can permanently exist as Peter Pan. because they use your civility as a means of hostaging you so that they can be able to perpetually and permanently get away with what they're doing. And the problem with this is that even with me, I am somebody that, while having the time to get to look into these things online, more than likely, if given my natural environment, if I am not already contracted or interested in trying to cover something that I'm investigating, you're gonna catch me playing a video game. And it's probably going to be a video game that's in-depth and has parts to it that require me to functionally use my brain to pay attention to what I'm doing. Which means, even as a person who could be online like that, even I'm not permanently online like that. If you could find me anywhere, you're going to find me in a community place talking to the users of that community. That's what I've been doing with Helldivers for the last 4.5 months, when I started writing my guide and then started recording the parts either live with their assistants or doing the batch recording for the voiceover and then piecing it together bit by bit as I wanted to. The same way with my videos. That's why most of my videos usually come out to being very, very long, either within like 15 minutes at maybe the shortest, or maybe even shorter if you go by the length of the recent video about Charlie Kirk, to as long as the 3-hour dissertation on FD Signifier and accounts like the Pillboy. Because I don't do things half measure. I give my information and I give my thoughts where you can understand where I'm coming from, because I'm drawing a map based on where I was when I found myself talking about it. Sure, it takes a long time to edit some shit, but it's whatever. But when it comes to like shorthand conversations, I'm very immediate with the fucking information, because I'm seeing those posts and I'm taking them down and I'm copying them and I'm documenting them. Because when we were doing the different podcast, when I was doing the Fried Canary podcast, my podcast, part of my rule was that I was not going to read shit without a link. So I can be informed because I'm seeing the shit happen live in front of me. Certainly I'm not at the size of somebody like Ebony Maw, who's built his account over time simply by already being a large figure and just having the ability to shitpost all the time because he's his own type of dad. But that level of size and relevancy and notice, it's not that I don't have it, it's that because this account that I use on Twitter was the second backup account, regrowing that followage from people who have not yet learned that that first account was stolen by a gay pornographer, I don't know how to help those people. But fortunately, I don't have to care about that. But in the terms of what it matters for, those individuals that are deeply immature people, like Alyssa Mercante, or shit, any person who's beefing with me this goddamn week, who decided that trolling was funny, but the moment that they're getting zizzed by me and Panda at the same time, oh, that's a bridge too far. They don't.
It's too far. You can't do that to me. It's mean.
The way that goes is that it's like they're playing Matador. Like, the way that I could describe this is the same way that Ian Miles Chong used to behave, and the very same way to how Vita Kaswalti behaves. They are daring you to make content about them, and claiming that no one will care about the content, while in the same breath, he is going to other creators about me, which is a reason I also said that before, because that's documented in the video that I made about him, when he was doing this back when he was trying to support cuties, saying that it was just a bit, trying to support cuties, trying to be a sensationalist, trying to promote Mr. Girl, trying to do anything to get attention, and ultimately, he's now ended up as the butt clown to a man who likes to dress up in a cow's outfit, go to Burning Man, and get fucked in the ass. It's a very small, particular way of dealing with the troll's remorse, because when you see this on the higher end, this is how you see this from people like Tectone, or people like Nuxtaku, or I guess some ordinary gamers, or people in that sphere of influence. Like, on the terms of the people who are known for making trouble for themselves, they act like a little bit of Ian Miles Chong, and they act a little bit like Vita Kaswalti. They can be permanent.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Crap! Cross! They got him.
They nuked him!
I didn't do anything.
Well, we hear you now.
Okay, but basically, they are able to be immature because the audience that they either built or that they got from somebody else, especially in the case of somebody like the biggest problem in the universe, and the audience of what is currently the sector and what exists around the sector. Not to shit on Kino Casino, but you know, Kino Casino could be better, but they are what they are. But it's more like things like Pod Awful and things that exist in that space that allow for the dregs of things like Neon, the dregs of people like the Super Peter brothers, both Tristan and Andrew Tate. The hangers-ons.
I like how that's their name.
I'm not calling them anything else. That is Mario and Luigi Pito, okay? That is Mario and Luigi Pito right there. In the case of people like Sneeko, individuals who don't have opinions of their own, they copy them off of whoever they're trying to copy next, which is why I look at Tectone like that. Because Tectone's just basically doing the same thing as Asmongold. Asmongold, if he's the front page of the internet, he is Asmongold's shadow because he just copies what he says and says it in a more dude bro fashion. It's like, here's the guy that spends all his time in his house because he doesn't clean shit because he's fucking inside meat, but he also happens to be one of the most popular, famous, and well-paid people in the world. And then here's the musclehead dude bro that goes to the gym and probably eats more whey than I weigh in terms of body fat for his workout, who copies his exact same opinion and also gets yelled at by a thumb and has been punished by Twitch because he told a thumb that she should kill herself for reasons that I wouldn't have done, but she's saying to him, your dad deserved to die and have PTSD. He says to her, go fuck yourself. Twitch says to him, don't you attack that thumb. That thumb is a secret cow. And he's like, hey, hello, you call her a cow? Huh? Meanwhile, over here, I'm the person who sits online, maybe for 6 to 16 hours a day, and if you turn on your camera at a random point at 6 a.m., Carl is streaming. If you turn the camera on again at 9 p.m., Carl is streaming. If you turn it on again at 4 a.m. in the morning, Carl is streaming Path of Exile. And he is more than likely just an autonomous statue that is turned into a crystal. And you're going to have to say to him, Carl, are you awake? For me to respond. Because my brain is not operating on a higher function. Because I'm trying to put myself to sleep, basically. That is what that type of scene has developed into. They have developed into that kind of person that because the other people around them are immature, they're allowed to be immature. Because who's going to tell them that they can't be immature? If all the people that are going there basically are kids. In the case of Tectone, his audience is more than likely children. But for some of them, it's like, I don't know, man-children? Man-childs, yes.
Well, there's one thing I want to say about like the maturity thing. I think she's younger than me, but I feel like, you know, people give me usually get the label of immature, like a lot, or like childish, and I felt like if I kind of suppress my emotions more, it'll make people see me as more of an adult.
I don't know. I don't think that you suppressing your emotions would make you an adult. I think you embracing your emotions as you do already is what makes you an adult.
Yeah, pressing them, not so much. Regulating them is what makes you an adult. Being able to express them properly.
Outside of people who would unironically use the word mauled to describe any person speaking passionately on a subject matter, you can tell if you are in tune with your inner self, if you are out of order for what could be considered an emotional outburst. Because you can tell when you are acting crazy, if you know what crazy for you feels like. I've never been manic, outside of the exception of having to fight for my own life, but I know what it feels like when I'm talking too much and adding too many details and words. Because sometimes I feel like Jay fucks with me on purpose, especially now that I've gotten a better handle on it. But in the beginning of our relationship, as friends, there was a time period where I could not tell. Because for the sake of understanding, I take everyone deadly serious. Because there is no reason for me to not take you for your word. if you're joking, you should make it clear you're joking. If you don't make it clear you're joking, why would you put me in a position where I have to treat you like you're serious? And then when I say what I say based on the fact that I have been serious the entire time, you can't read my emotions and understand I don't take this as a joke. I don't take most things as a joke. Not because, world super serious, can't never not have a joke. It can't never not tell jokes. It's like, the people who try to tell jokes jokes at the worst opportune time. For example, look over at Charlie Kirk. How many people were justifying the death and laughing about it? How many of them were left wing, and then how many of them were right wing? There was probably a lot more right wing than you would have expected, and a lot of them were basically the ones that were angry that they weren't in his position, and that now that he's gone, he can become one. I said this opinion about Steven Crowder when I was on air, and I'm hoping that that's not what I'm witnessing. Because even though I think he is probably one of the first originators that tried to talk to people before, I guess, people decided to recognize Charlie Kirk over him, especially considering his particular personal follies in his marriage. The moment that Kirk leaves, here comes a man who basically has had to go the same way as somebody like Uzulu. Granted, I know why it happened to him. We all know. We all know what Colorado Smaza did. And we also all know that the tarring and feathering of his relationship being aired out by both his ex-wife and his ex-producer, not very helpful, but it is what it is. I would hate to think that that is the level at which you're at now, where creators and influencers basically want to make these power pivots based on whether or not they can actually be able to now compete against somebody who no longer has the ability to fight back because they're actually dead. And this is what it felt like a lot of the time when dealing with people in my audience and dealing with potential friends that are either no longer friends or I hold at a very, very large arm's length, where you don't really understand my inner world because you don't want to know what's in my inner world. So if I try to tell somebody about something that matters to me, whether or not they what's the word I'm looking for? Entertain. Whether or not they entertain me and allow me to show them what it is that I'm doing. Like if I wanted to show Star something about a video game I'm playing, because she doesn't understand what I mean when I say something, so I try to explain it to her. If I were not able to do that, she's not really going to understand my inner world. Just like if I didn't take the time to sit down when she asks to make time for us to talk to each other, and she wants to tell me about her day, if I don't do that for her, I'm not understanding her inner world. Because her most common response to me is, baby, I'm just talking. And my response to her is, baby, I'm just listening. Because it's not something that clicks to the emotionally mature. There's a difference between listening, waiting to talk, and not even waiting and just blurting out complete brain damage. Because your brain interprets the silence between words, silence between words, words are hard. The silence between words as dead air that has to be filled with more words. Like you can't even finish a sentence. Somebody else is already talking over someone. And then you have conversations back and forth between groups of people that can go on for hours on end, where nobody's able to speak a word in edgewise because the moment you're trying to make a point, here's somebody talking over you with a joke blazingly loud in your ear, where you can't even remember your train of thought because you're losing the conversation because they're adding unnecessary garbage information that doesn't serve any purpose. And while that's friends in a social group, that's fine, it still is a part of the problem because that's then how the entire internet works. It's everybody piling onto each other in that way, to the point where no conversation can be had because it's not about the conversation. It's about adding your voice to the cacophony and possibly going viral about it. At least in the context to that situation. If you know what it is you're trying to say, you can communicate effectively, and you don't have that problem. But it still doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to get heard, because now you have to be louder and more effective than anybody else. And apparently, if we're too effective, we get killed for it. So, there's that. Excuse me for a minute. I need to go to the kitchen. Now, don't go saying slurs!
We won't say bad words.
This is when we start our end towers in the chat. And what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Get, bullied in the CalArt style?
No, hell no.
Maybe you were better off.
No, I didn't even think about going to stuff like CalArts. I wanted to do more of I wanted to like make my own like web series and stuff. Like I wanted to make a web comic. I wanted to make a web series. A lot of daunting kind of things. Because I had like a whole like I made a bunch of characters over time. So I wanted to make a whole narrative with that. But it didn't really end up going anywhere, and I got a lot of scrutiny from my family because of that. Because they saw me drawing all these characters and said, "This is demonic. This is witchcraft," and I ended up getting very discouraged.
Well, it's
Trying
okay. The demonic part is fine. We have sanctioned it. It's all good.
Okay.
Look, I will tag it off like we do with like electricity and tags now. It's fine. Also, hello. I am Kaz.
Hello. I mean,
The
I've heard you.
Australian.
Yeah, I've heard you speak before.
Was it as bad as this?
No.
Well, Carl, it's been
It had
fun,
more
but
hair.
I gotta make dinner, so I'm gonna dip out. You guys have a good game.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
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 Bye. Have a good one.
Where is Carl?
I'm right here.
Carl is doing a thing.
I had to go to the kitchen. I was still
Currently
serving
having something going on with his microphone.
dinner. Was my microphone broken again?
No, we can still hear you.
Sounded far away for a bit.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
No, there's like some noise in the background.
yeah.
Well, the only noise delay that I can
Uh,
hear is somebody triggering something that keeps sounding like a kick pedal.
I think that was Alabaster. She
Oh,
had
Aqua.
something in her background.
Aqua.
No, that's coming from you, Aqua.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you hear my... Oh, is that my keyboard? Oh shit, I think you hear my keyboard. My bad.
The deep clicking is your
I'm sorry.
keyboard, but there's a sound behind it that sounds like somebody constantly kicking the foot pedal on a guitar.
I don't have anything in the background.
Well, it happens every time you speak. Is there something in the background that's running with a generic hum?
You do not have it on push to talk.
There might be my fan, but it's not that. Hold on, let me turn off my fan. Give me a second.
Well, that's the
Yeah,
only
leave the fan.
that's the only delay that I could really think of that was causing sound that would have overwhelmed my microphone.
And it's not that loud. It wasn't that high. That's weird. I don't know if my mic sensitivity's too high.
No, inside the features of all these rooms, part of the vocal settings is that I have the settings based on voice activity. So if there's another sound going off at the same time, it's going to try to auto-adjust the sound of another person that's talking, if they're not using push to talk. I use voice activity because I cannot be bothered to be pressing multiple buttons in a video game while also still talking on a live stream. However,
Same.
most of you should have push to talk, with the exception of maybe moderators who are exempt. So if something dips my audio, I have to assume that something's broken with my audio, otherwise it's something in your audio settings. Because I was sitting in the exact same position I was before.
I'm Australian and I swear a lot. Therefore, push to talk. Speaking of which, apparently I can't send you a Steam invite, big fella. You have to request one first. Something.
Oh, okay. 1 second.
No.
Wait, no, I was doing it through Discord. Yeah, no, apparently you gotta, like, message me first.
1 second.
That I can send you an invite.
Here's-
Code and shit.
Here's the friend code. It is there inside of the chat. there is a chat inside of the live broadcast room. They no longer have to have separate voice text channels on the side. They just have text channels inside of them.
Well, that's cool. Where the fuck do I click on that?
There is a talk bubble in the upper corner, assuming that you're looking at the live broadcast room. There is a button that says show request that looks like a hand. There is then a button next to that is the show chat button. You can also right click on live broadcast and scroll down to where it says open chat, and it will open that chat room.
Except, not too long ago, it used to be at the bottom right.
I don't know why they moved
Like
it.
I looked at that, going like, is that kind of?
I don't know. Discord does things. They like changing stuff. I don't know why they like changing
Fuck
stuff.
Wait, no. Oh, wrong fucking link. What the fuck? Give me a second. I got sidetracked while you were away.
What about you, Struggler? How was your day, sir?
I think he's muted.
Carl,
Yes?
is that one gonna work for you?
I mean, music.
I think that's the easier link.
It's making you have to send me a friend request on Steam before you're able to add me in the game.
Fuck's sake.
You shouldn't have to do that. While it certainly makes it easier for you to jump in and jump out, and I'm not against that, it should be just as quickly as you using that.
No. I was saying, like, I sent you a link.
Okay.
That should have been like the one-click link.
Okay. That
And
one.
then I also sent the other thing he did. No, easier. Because I remember, like, this shit is a bit annoying.
I just sent you one.
Why, hello, sir. You have arrived.
Drive calibration complete.
Because if you're inside of Helldivers, you should only need to use the friend code from the account.
I was not currently in Helldivers, but this can be arranged. The thing is, I'm not sure I should currently join you for Helldivers while we have other people here. Otherwise, it's just gonna be us yelling at each other.
I am a master of having multiple conversations at once. That's not new.
Well,
I would join, but
I would join, but I don't have the game.
Well,
that sounds like a huge problem.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Aqua,
I've got me problems.
I am broke, so I can't solve that problem for you right now.
That's fine. It's fine.
This is fine.
Another day.
I'll just be chill.
you know what? I get paid on Tuesday.
Wait, which voice was that?
The quieter
Is that
black
Saffron?
No, the female voice is Saf. The lower African American voice, that's Struggler.
Which is not me, by the way.
Oh
is
no,
not
it
me.
is Aqua. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Aqua, you are going to have a very, very good voice when you're older.
I'm 25. I hope to God it gets better. I hope to God it gets better.
I'm sorry, Aqua. You will always have the shy little anime boy voice.
Oh no.
You will forever be
Wait,
submissive.
which shy anime boy? Are we talking Deku? We talking...
I was gonna say Shinji.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow, I'm that... Wow, fuck me.
I'm sorry.
I better get a fiery fucking redhead for a wife, I swear to Christ.
No, you're gonna have to see. There you go.
No, to be fair, I thought Deku, like too, and I also thought like 1920 ish.
Here, puppy, take a bite. Chicken busted.
I don't even know what you're referencing, and I feel disgusted.
This is a silly TikTok video I'm referencing.
Oh, well, now I'm being compared to TikTok. Oh no! I was told by Carl I have a dulcet tone. Apparently, I've been lied to.
No, you do. That's why I thought I was gonna go, like, when you're older, you'll have a dulcet tone like myself.
Oh.
But apparently you're already old, so.
Yeah.
Well,
halfway.
almost. Halfway.
Damn.
It's okay. You can always get older.
Hopefully I sound more like my father.
What, disappointed?
Hopefully. Oh shit.
Wait, we're not allowed to say the C word?
Hold on a second.
I'm just... Microphone cord got in under here.
Oh shit. I am, actually speaking of voice acting, I think, on the 16th, going to that voice acting mastery online class that Carl took.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Excellent.
good.
I have no idea what to expect. I'm still terrified to hear my own voice on recording because I sound cringe.
Just keep
It's okay.
Just keep an open mind.
No, just... Sorry.
I hear it's common for everybody, though.
Yes.
So that's a comfort.
Yeah, Carl. Go.
You just keep an open mind and an open backside, and just simply take the advice that Crispin gives you, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
All you have to do is remember is that you are there to learn, so simply just be prepared to empty your cup and take anything that he says to you. Don't take it personal, but do take it serious.
Right. I will. I'll try to as much as I can, because I don't know what to expect, because I know I've had, and this is something I don't know if Safnet can relate, but it's something I've always struggled with high functioning is I don't know if it would be a tone issue, but I know people have either taken from me something that I didn't mean to, like if I sound arrogant to somebody, it's not that I meant to, I'm trying to be very emphatic, and I come off as either being smug or arrogant, or like I'm a know-it-all.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, is it one of those? Oh.
I understand what
like
you
that.
mean, Aqua. I mean, there's times where I explain things.
As
plainly.
opposed to, oh, is it one of those? Like, one of them is like friendly and fun and ditzy, and the other one's like, well, I think he's about to kill you because your petunias are fucked. like, This is why I normally don't talk friendly in public. I try to get a middle ground. My middle ground's about, yeah, how's it going? Pretty much like that. I don't normally lean back into my voice, because once you lean back, there is no going back.
I'm scared to click this little YouTube short that you sent in the chat, Safnet. I'm scared.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Echo eating fried chicken. Alright, I gotta click this.
Jesus H. Christ. Jesus H. Christ. Is that what I sound like? Is that what I sound like to you people? Oh my god.
It was not, but also.
Oh, I'm gonna be a virgin forever.
But you'll feel bad.
Don't feel bad. I'm the one who feels bad. That's gonna haunt me.
They were looking good. It took ages to make the joke, and then the joke happened, and then it took ages for it to hit. Son of a...
I'm still recovering from that. Give me a minute.
And the smoke. I am going to have both. It's alright. I'll come to the game after all the shenanigans die down. Probably not good for me to do shenanigans on stream.
I had a couple misunderstandings with people because of how I phrase things.
Yeah.
It's like I tried, you know, when I talk about things, I try not to be argumentative. I try to like state it as plainly as possible. And it, like, you know, I think there was one time I was talking about like how Twitch treats their treated YouTubers, and someone was like, he's like, that's not true. They don't have preferential treatment. I was like, yes, they do. They keep getting banned. I'm not just saying this out of my ass. This is something that's been repeatedly happening.
Excuse me, please.
But you know,
That is the. Yeah.
they're just trying to be argumentative about it, and that wasn't my intention when I was saying that at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was always the thing. I always, and even my own my own parents even told me this, is that, yeah, you have, granted, I don't think they meant it like it was a big issue, but they would say, like, yeah, you have tonal control issues sometimes. Especially when you get very emphatic and you get passionate about things, you tend to either put somebody off in the wrong way, or they don't know 100% where you're coming from. So I figured going to a voice coach would probably help me in several ways. One, if I actually do manage to put my voice to apply to certain characters that I could fit for, because my dream is that, I know I'm not going to be Tony J, but god damn it, I want to be my own Tony J. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
And I know I'm not Steve Bloom. Alright, I'm not. But damn it, I want the range of Steve Bloom. Am I crazy? Am I wrong for wanting that?
No,
Oh, no.
but aim lower.
Okay. Who would you think is a good example? Just for you're way more experienced in this than I am. Who do you think would be a good example for me? Maybe.
Other than yourself, but after this experience, Yuri Lowenthal.
Yuri Lowenthal. Wait a minute. Isn't that the voice actor for Death the Kid? Am I crazy?
He's voice actor for a lot of things.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of stuff.
Yuri, or no, or is that? I'm getting my voice actors mixed up. Or is that the voice for Sasuke and Ben 10? Like, he does a lot of voices, I know, but is that who?
More or less, yes.
Okay, no, oh yeah, I know what you mean.
He's Spider-Man.
Yes, he was Spider-Man. I know him and oh my god, what's his name? Josh Josh something. He's also been Spider-Man a lot of times. Okay. Is that what he sound like?
He was in Persona.
Oh yeah, he was in Persona, wasn't he?
Yeah. He's Simon.
Simon? Wait, was he Simon from Gurren Lagann?
Yes.
I knew it. I will believe in the commune that believes in me. Because I know I've demonstrated this one movie night that I can do a decent, not even like a great impersonation, but a decent form of not Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. I don't know if I'm actually matching their pitch and their tone, because I can kind of do something like Kermit, but I can't get my pitch really. I don't know how to describe it. I don't think I can match his pitch, but I can match a similar inflection, and that's the thing I wanted to learn, because if I can get that range, I think I would have a lot more variety, because I don't want to just be, oh, it's him just being him. I don't want to Ryan Reynolds this, if that makes sense.
I understand.
I know one voice actor I'd actually like to learn from too is oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Edward Elric. What's his name again? Oh my god, Vic Mignogna. Thank you, Vic Mignogna. That's another guy I would actually like to learn from on this.
Nope.
To be completely fair.
Oh, player cross right might happen.
Yep. Well, not to mention just he can sing. I'd also like to learn how to sing.
I have a feeling that Kaz walked away.
But yeah, he's still here, but he's not at the mic.
I think I also wanted to touch on this before you left, Carl.
Mission coordinates locked.
You know, like, there's times where I've had,
Sasdrive.
issues in the community where, like, it feels like it's not a community server anymore. It's people who are only hyping up one guy, and it's a guy that's the owner of the server. Like, he has
a hub box.
Yeah, I guess a hug box is more accurate, because people think he's like the best. Because I remember people saying unironically, "Oh, this is so and so server now. This is just his little place to post his work," and I'm just like, "Are you fucking serious?" I was like livid in that moment, and like I feel like I didn't say anything that egregious. I just said, that's bleak when you put it that way. Because he's not even the server owner. And you're giving this guy immunity. Like, what if the day comes where he has a crash out or something happens where he fucking starts breaking the rules, doing dumb shit? What are y'all gonna do then?
Couldn't tell you. Only reason why I couldn't tell you is because I would not let that happen here.
Yeah, I know. Like, Carl, you're pretty. You and Horror are pretty good about not letting that stuff happen. But it feels like the way that server in particular has been handled is very hands off from the owner and like some of the mods. Because there's some stuff that I see let fly because people talk about like politics when they're not supposed to. Like, people just bringing up communism also, and I'm like, come on, just people want to chill. People don't want to hear about you role playing communist shit. I just want to play video games.
I don't want to hear about the struggles of the proletariat. Just leave me alone so I can play my fucking Borderlands 2 and Path of Exile, please. Please.
Oh, did you
I
finally
do
get
not
into
want
Path?
to hear this whole down with the bourgeoisie shit. Please.
Did you finally get into Path of Exile?
Me?
Yes.
I haven't touched in a while, but I've been meaning to. I've gotten into Grim Dawn. I like Grim Dawn. I don't know if that's a good answer or not.
Oh, it's old.
Sorry.
Grim Dawn was old, but it was good. Wait, does that mean we've lost all the other extraneous people that I can join the car?
I didn't hear any of that.
Loud noises! I will assume that is you.
Oh, I've already sent you the friend code, so when you're in the game, you can put that code in.
Yeah. Incoming message. Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think there was also a disagreement I had with the owner of that community, and I was saying to him, like, how do you think I'm supposed to feel when people say that's his server, not yours? Like, basically, you have no control over people in your community, and they're saying stupid shit, and you're letting them do stupid shit.
Apparently it just resets your entire graphics card. I might need to check that out.
Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery. Warning, you are in range of enemy artillery.
Or not. Try again. I have not played in forever.
Oh shit, I forgot about that quest. I'll get to it.
I had to go back and find the comment, but like,
Keep liberty.
this is really just so-and-so server as far as I care, and people are like agreeing with them. And it's like, yeah, this is for the conversation, this guy for the art. Everyone is just decoration, background noise, and so-and-so. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of bleak when you talk about it that way.
Well, background means everything. Like, it actually does.
Allied destroyer joining squadron, deploying Helldiver to combat zone.
Fuck, I forgot which gun I deployed with. What, are we just running? I wanted to, like, fucking...
I am not running, I'm tactically retreating.
Peloton outpost destroyed.
Well, apparently. Jesus wept. Can I, like, calm my shit down yet?
Yes. I'm not stopping you from calling your weapons down.
Fucking deagle. Yeah, fucking let's go. Fuck that sexy ball. Oh shit, now I'm getting fucking thing from this side. Motherfucker. Sorry, I didn't realize it was gonna be that hard. What's up? Run, bitch, run! Wait, what is soulmate doing? Clearly not that. I am going to hopefully spawn a bit further away.
Five minutes remaining. I repeat, 5 minutes remaining. Request approved. Reinforcements have been launched. Calling down a support weapon.
Watching me be an old man while I did this.
Wait. Wait, what the hell? Hold on.
Never mind. Incoming message. Wait, really? On me. What a dick.
Oh, holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, lasers are cool. Let's go. Oh, it's a tank. And a walker. Fuck, I forget where to shoot that. Wait a minute, let's not. That's ours.
Administering
Wait,
freedom.
where we go? M1. There we go. He kind of was. Why would you run towards him?
Damn.
Was that a question?
Wept. That was the wrong way.
Was that a question directed towards me? I didn't understand it.
I went to flank the tank and ran into a lot of bots trying to flank you.
Half reinforcement budget remaining.
I'm just gonna spend the entire mission catching up. You times.
Depends
Oh
entirely
no,
on
don't scare me.
depends entirely on your definition of catching up.
Well, running consistently to board it. Whee!
They see you.
Only because you started like doing that. Ah shit.
No, you were running. I was crouching. They didn't see me. They saw you.
Yeah, I know. Do you want me to like accidentally drop that? I don't know how this shit goes.
Excuse me, please.
I'm just following you. meant to be going that way?
Calling it. 1 minute left. Destroyer preparing to
That had to
leave.
be a tinker. That wasn't consistent with anything other than a tinker. Weird. Anyways.
Reinforcing. Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Fuck. I can't have the
Democracy has landed.
thing near the cool.
Requesting tac pack. Going down a support weapon. Going
Jesus wept. What's the button to heal again? Eh. It's been a while.
Emergency extraction shuttle deployed.
What? What do you mean, like, click, click? I already had the full mag.
Follow me.
Yeah, I thought it was going to do that. Apparently not.
What was the last difficulty you played on?
ETA T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Hell.
Did you say hell?
Yeah. Nice. Very nice.
So hell would be...
Probably peasant mode now or some shit.
1 minute.
So a number grade. I need you to say a number grade because I don't know what you mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
9.
This is 10.
ETA T-minus 30 seconds. ETA T-minus 20 seconds.
Hang on. How do you have the gun and the other gun?
Their lives were in our
This is one-handed.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Clear landing zone.
This is...
Pelican 1 approaching pickup.
One is my primary,
That
one is my
was a
supp-
patch.
one is my primary, one is my supply weapon.
Pelican 1 landing in progress.
No, alright. And
Countdown initiated.
that's a quasar, right?
Extraction
Or
complete.
was that
Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
This was the Blitz.
Ah, right. I never got to play with the Blitz.
You've never done a 12-minute mission?
No, the full rocket launcher did be.
No. The mission type is a Blitz. The weapon is called a Coyote. The primary is Coyote, the sidearm is the Ultimatum, and my supply weapon is the Plaz Epoch. If you don't have
No.
if you don't have Dust Devils and Control Group, then they are in war bonds that you do not currently possess yet.
I have not played after I unlocked the new ones after. Oh no, about a year.
Yeah, man, but
Oh, that explains that. The game was showing your level as level 150, and I was very confused Then it corrected, and I see that you're level 32.
Yeah. Wait, you're 141?
Yes.
Jesus, wait.
Exper-
I didn't even show up, barely.
Experience doesn't matter past level 25. Everything you get after that is just cosmetics.
Apparently, for anything other than accuracy, that's true. Speaking of which, apparently I got some conflicts there. Let me just sort out which fucking gun I'm using. Okay, so we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff. I forget which ones will go. So now what? Not done, but the slugger's still okay.
Is the what?
The slugger.
Into
Oh,
the
really?
situation. No,
Took so long.
into the situation of the bot formation that you're going to be facing. If you don't trust yourself to be semi-accurate, you will probably want something with a high rate of fire.
I will make the shot. However, I do know about something that might do kind of the damage, and you have to aim at the chest and hope that the recoil kicks it in the head. Fuck it. The breaker, the old king of the hill. Is the breaker still okay?
If you are accurate with shotguns, you can make anything work. The game is a sandbox.
Helldivers to Hellpods. Repeat. Helldivers to
I
Hellpods.
am a Doom guy. What do you mean? What, we can equip shit? Holy crap, we can equip shit.
Yes, that is a feature added with content from Heart of Democracy. We have the ability to use weapon customizations. All of your equipment now gain experience up to level 25. Certain pieces of equipment do not gain experience, which is namely anything that is from a crossover. Depending on the attachments that are available for the weapon type, you can be able to equip items onto the equipment to increase the ergonomics, the spread, the recoil, the aim ability, anything customizable about the weapon that you would like to make the weapon customizable with. The most important ones of these.
Sergeant, I am ready to go.
The most important one of these is whether or not the weapon comes pre-equipped with a flashlight. If it doesn't, you're going to be perpetually in the dark, and you're going to have to light the way in front of you by either paying attention to the light of the enemy's eyes, if you are facing a front that actually has vision, or you're going to have to pray and hope that you're not getting blinded by the enemies that will more than likely be shooting you dead because you're being blinded. Something around about close to that end, only that. Outside of that, it's really your choice of what you choose to do. You just have to be capable of dealing with the problems that are coming your way as you face them. Otherwise, if your kit can't function where you know what it is you need it to do, but you can't get it to do what you want it to do, you're really at the mercy of that contingency. So it can end up being bad, it can end up being good. As long as the weapon does what you need it to do, then everything's fine, you're Gucci, and there's nothing wrong. If it can't do what you need it to do, as in you're struggling, there's either a way you need to change how your playstyle works, or you just need to change your level of aggression. Some weapons require a certain level of aggression that other kits do not have. Some play styles do not style themselves to moving slowly and moving quickly. You gotta adjust. And at the highest difficulty, that is all about recognizing how you have to adjust and doing it. Like the difficulty manual says, don't panic.
Well, I'll have to see you guys later. I still have some things to do before I turn in
Alright.
bed.
Technically, that is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't panic.
This city needs a raid.
Jesus wept. What the hell? I'm down already. What the fuck? Oh, heavy devastation.
This is a hot drop.
Objective critical stratagem no longer available.
Apparently was. Alright, I'm equipped with a shotgun. Just fucking throw me in there. Send me in.
Send me in there, coach. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm not ready for it. Coach, I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
I'm ready. Yeah. You what's up? Oh, apparently they were not ready. The hell is going on?
A bombardment.
Objective critical stratagem
God,
no longer available.
come back. So, oh shit. Circle back, sir. Bro, takes that many hits? Shit. No wonder you fucking wrong. Except for the fucking quasar count. Ah, fuck. There's a button. There's a button. B. Ah, shit. They weren't kidding about, like, the fucking bleed. Fucking hits you.
Objective located, southwest.
Damn. Building is 6.
Out of ammo.
You do not want to be that close to me when I'm firing the epoch.
I'm pretty sure I do. It's the only place I think I'm safe.
Not that close to me. If you're standing on top of me when I shoot that weapon and that weapon projectile connects, that explosion will kill both of us. And if I hold
Right.
the weapon too
So
long,
not even just behind you.
you don't want to be anywhere in front of me. You are directly off to my side, as I was aiming at a flying target. This weapon
Yeah,
has
no, you could see me on the third person.
Gaz. If I hold this weapon too long while it's charging, it will explode in my hand. I can't readjust while you're standing next to me, because I have to predict that you're going to move out of the way. But if I can't predict it, I have to throw the shot wild. If I have to throw the shot wild, you don't want to be standing directly to the front or to the direct front or side of me.
Range of enemy artillery.
Follow me.
It's a quirk of the weapon.
Killed my own explosion because apparently we got cyber. And close shit down, alright. Let's go.
Requesting air support.
Delivering payload.
Rare sample collected.
What the fuck is going on there?
That was a G4 gas grenade inside of them that destroyed that.
Heavy on my position.
Alright, run fucking way now. There's a big ass spot there. What? What? No! You can't spawn on me, you bastards!
Follow me.
Oh no! I went to run towards him, thinking it was you, and it was like, no. Fucking Jesus, weird. Oh, this is not good.
Reloading.
Oh, fuck, I'm down. It was turned for about 5 seconds of all of a sudden. Okay. Get your shit and fuck out, I guess. Perfect game. Perfect, like. It is nice that they've made the ragdoll is still a bit serious, but it is nice that they made the weak spots far easier to hit.
One outpost destroyed.
I'm sorry, how did you manage that? Just mashed like
You are in range of enemy artillery.
Skill.
the thin key?
Skill and the explosive passive of my armor.
No, I didn't want to come back in. Oh wait, hang on.
You are in range of enemy artillery.
Well, that's so set out. Run, bitch, run!
You are in range of enemy artillery.
Oh, that's not good.
Warning, you are in
I didn't even have time to check my map.
Right now would be when you check the map.
Well, apparently I'm in range.
warning, you are in range of enemy artillery.
And it's all jammed. What does it
Objective complete.
recharge that quick now? Oh, what? Ow. I suppose better fucking do that. Fuck, they threw a grenade at me. Oh, then. Oh, there's like cyber thingies. The situation is rather hot here. Run away.
about to get hotter.
Yeah, they had to search and destroy apparently. Because that was really fast.
What was fast?
Long. The response time.
Mission at 30 minutes remaining. Enemy tactical asset within range.
Move the car out of the way.
Oh my god, we have vehicles. Motherfucker. I couldn't just call down a fucking...
Not unless you brought down the FRV. This one is randomly spawned in the mission. And it's probably going to get destroyed because you're all the way over there.
Oh.
Advance up the line. We can't hold the corner. We can't hold the corner like this. Advance up the line. Use the ramp.
Sorry, I forget. Where we going? Blind. There. Oh. Oh, into another one. Really? And another one.
I got the terminal. Engaging terminal.
Doesn't look good.
Objective critical stratagem available.
Ish.
Objective critical stratagem no longer available. Bot asset destroyed.
Nobody in chat asked me how I survived that, because that one I definitely should not have lived.
Oh, motherfucker, rockets? Oh, that's not good. No! I was dipping, diving. I was about to try to do the thing. Motherfucker.
When you say do
Yeah,
the,
no, I'm too old for this, apparently.
when you say do the thing, what thing are you talking about?
Oh, I was gonna do orbital laser, and then I was gonna do the bomb and the rest of the stuff.
You didn't have to. I already dismantled the jammer. Once I threw down the orbital 120, all we had to do was get out of dodge. You would have been using it to churn enemies and nothing else. I mean, it's your choice to, but in that situation, we would need it for this objective, which you can definitely use here now.
Calling in reinforcements.
I choose to follow Squad Commander.
Warning, you are leaving the mission area.
Mag's empty.
Helldiver, you are moving outside the mission area.
But how are you leaving this show?
I didn't leave it.
Oh, man.
I was around the corner resupplying. I survived on 1 health with 2 broken legs.
So, do it. Fuck, it's gonna take too long for us to
Sending in an eagle.
Here comes the
Oh, you don't have to use it here. We have dealt with most of the threat. Now it's just a choice of destroying the
Yeah.
bombardments.
Eagle 1 rearming.
But your supply weapon should be strong enough for that.
One with hopes.
Objective critical strategy
I'm hearing
available.
shifties on the left.
Well, that's
Oh,
unfortunate.
mother.
Reinforcements.
Sorry, reaction fire.
I mean, that was just the death of you were directly behind me. The berserker exploded on you because he was
No,
self-destructing.
no. I shot it.
Heavy. West.
Oh shit! Except for that was execution. No, that was like the on-fire berserker, and I shot it in the face, going, it's coming right for me. Completely forgetting
Objective critical strategy
the
available.
explosion damage.
Firing orbital barrage. Clear the area.
Sure, I can. Oh, don't do that.
Critical stratagem no longer available.
Which way are we going?
Waiting outside the zone of the explosion.
Hold on.
Objective located. Southeast. Reloading.
Incoming behind.
Eagle back from the nest.
Objective critical stratagem available.
Fuck, I keep forgetting that wastes some time, mag.
You said you're holding a shotgun, right?
So magged up. Yep.
Then you'd have to get up close. Also, you walked very close to being killed by that. You still don't want to be standing there. And we're being shot at.
I don't know. It looked very cinematic.
Making progress.
Tagging location.
Oh, that's a fucking tank. Yeah, nah. Fucking.
Requesting air support.
Fucking what's this? Oh, fucking heal.
Heavy. South.
Oh, fucking another tank. Alright. Taking the long way around, I guess.
Found something. Got a sample.
Pretty sure I'm not.
Reload. Marking location.
Crikey, they're right pissed off now.
You gotta check your... You have to start slicing the
Ow,
pie.
ow, ow! Fuck!
You gotta start slicing the pie when you start checking corners.
I took a shot for meant to be you, but okay, that's fine.
I saw them around the corner. I was using my radar. You saw them after I saw them and moved out of their range.
I
And-
got shot in the back,
Yes.
sir. I was checking your corners, assuming that we swept the place.
Nope.
Sending in an eagle. Drop ship.
Bot outpost destroyed.
That's fine. We'll learn how to work as a team at some point.
Eagle 1,
Before
join
I
the
get
real
old and stop. Long.
It's always possible for an old dog to learn new tricks. If I could teach myself how to do this, I can teach you how to do it. But that doesn't mean you'll necessarily learn at the speed that I learned to do it inherently. For example, there's enemies directly to my quarter 11.
Bag's empty.
That is not your 11, sir.
Quarter 11.
Well, quarter 11 would be here,
No, quarter 11.
where that.
The system that I'm referring to is hard to explain on the move, so I can explain afterwards.
Fuck, what's me fucking Malay key? Ah, motherfucker. Oh, motherfucker.
You're familiar with the saying, a countdown to midnight, referring to an apocalyptic event, where people say it's X minutes to midnight, or 15 minutes to midnight. Quarter 11 is quarter 11 to midnight, in terms of danger.
This all sounds like bullshit. Because the countdown's already been done 15 times. Right? What was it based on? A bunch of retards that couldn't fucking do anything. Couldn't fucking put a pencil together. Oh look, my screen's like fucking frozen. Probably for the best, I guess.
Objective critical stratagem available. Objective critical stratagem no longer available.
Oh, now that's trying to freeze. What the fuck?
Calling in reinforcements.
Oh, don't do that.
Ow. That wasn't my explosion. That had to be the tank. You're in range of the tank.
Calling in reinforcements. Reinforcements.
You're still in
Something
range.
like that. Oh, there's a tank.
Point me to the enemy.
You know, how about we not be in range of the tank? There's another tank. Time to kill it. Motherfucker. Fuck, there's everything here. Motherfucker.
Okay.
What do you mean you're scanning?
Reading room.
Throwing grenade.
Oh, I should say before I forget, Carl, that I've also been trying to teach myself coding to some degree.
Cutting?
Of liberty.
Sorry?
You said cutting? As in cutting someone with a knife?
Coding. I've been trying to teach myself coding using C# for Dummies.
Okay.
Oh, don't do that. That's a mug's game. What do you mean kill by burning?
Fuck.
I got killed by rocket, clearly.
I don't want to make my own video games.
Sorry about it. It would appear that I'm too shit to keep up to your level. It's been...
Now you know how I feel for the Path of Exile streams he did. I was I was falling behind. Everything was
I could maybe do some Path of Exile ish. Oh no, I wasn't doing too bad.
Same. I just have to focus on my build. I do need to go back to finish up that poison archer. I did like that build.
Yeah.
I still have like the pathing fresh in my mind still of what I need to do. I need to get I had one of the poisoning clusters for the poison damage multiplier. Or not damage the damage over time. I remember gotta get my dots down.
There's always another season for you to try it in. I was going to show you what I was talking about. Did you leave already, Cass?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, sorry, brother. I can't keep up with that. I'm actually... You can't see it here on the phone, but there's a lot of grey hairs.
City's about to be liberated. I never get to look at this thing when it gets fully liberated. But the difficulty strain of keeping up in the Super Hell Dive is that you cannot stand still for more than 5 seconds. Looking at the quarter directions of the...
I noticed. Like, well, that used to be the thing of like, oh, well, if you hit the tabby and then, like, you know, that way you can, like, run with the wizard and hit the drop-down key, and then you can, like, have over there, so you can use your other hand. Got 2 hands, right? So the right hand goes and does a wizard, like up, down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. The voice did its thing.
It's okay.
Let's not do that. Oh no. If I go down that rabbit hole, it gets surprisingly deep.
Okay.
Surprising. Like not.
The operation has failed. We must
Yeah.
try again.
Let's not. I would like to be the happy-go-fun guy, right?
The bridge is yours, Helldiver.
I forgot what I was saying.
On
about
a
this.
side unrelated note, I would like to extend a... I didn't understand how much bullshit you were going through, so...
What, me?
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten used to it. In your first time inside of Super Hell Dive, it's going to be a different level of tempo. And what? But you're coming back dry, so I don't blame you. Basically, when you're aggressing any point, assuming that you're not facing a tournament front that has bug spores, you have to actually check the dots and attempt to mentally move yourself through what you need to move yourself through to achieve and finish the objective. Outside of like a couple of silly deaths here and there, you didn't really make any mistakes. It's just the game is requiring you to play at a particular tempo. There's 3 ways to deal with it. You either play at the tempo of the game, you force the tempo to slow down to your speed, which means you need to take stratagems to manipulate the field of combat to your play advantage, or, as the game was not necessarily intended to be played as a duo, use other people. I'm just not calling in other people because there are other people here on the voice call, and I can't manage comms in game and out of game at the same time.
Counter. At the end of your life, you do whatever to ascendancy. You know everything in your life. You will always have regrets. In fact, most of your life will be regrets.
Morbid.
So, should I regret this?
No, I don't think
Yeah.
so. But there'd be to regret.
Ready for another mission?
Because I didn't know. Like, there's communities that you build, and I didn't know.
Just because you didn't know doesn't mean it's going to be held against you. Not exactly fair if that gets held against you in that way. It's just a game. I really should eat something now.
Yeah.
I am gonna go eat something.
Yeah. So, you now have me on Steam. We have many games that we can play together. Also, you have seen my beautiful face
More than
and
once.
heard my beautiful voice.
Yes. Hey, Grace.
Hola, hola, hola. Hey, how's it going?
Oh no,
Hola.
we were just about to go away. But
I'm going
my
to.
face
I'm going to.
persists.
I'm going to dinner and then I'm going to go offline, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing video games.
Oh no. Oh no, bro.
Well, I am doing fine. Today was a day because I had to go look through the material of Steven Crowder's return to doing Change My Mind in a post Charlie Kirk world, and it was aggressively annoying because it's like he never stopped doing it, except they're even dumber now. But there's also like caveats. I don't know. The simple way to describe it is I have to look at this as if does Steven Crowder believe that because Charlie Kirk is gone that he is going to be the new bolder, bigger brother who's going to fight for the dishonor of his little brother who's no longer here?
He's one of like the 112 people that are currently doing it now.
Well, the question is always if they're effective. And that's...
Well, I mean, Crowder's the biggest. And, like, he made a big fucking song and dance of it. But no, apparently there's like 112 of them that are going to go out every week and do what Kirk did. Of just challenge people of what their preconceptions are. Now, obviously, Crowder is going to pick the most controversial. And look, that should be what the universities are based on. Like, that is the principal foundation of a university. To challenge ideas. It's the prior foundation to science. Challenge everything, know nothing. Is why. Never
Always be willing to question.
anything. Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
Like these things are why. You can never actually quite know the answer. Like how big is my dick? Well, I mean, it could be from here to the galaxy away, but look, the galaxy's pregnant, but it wasn't mine, right? You can't prove it.
Well, if we measure from my prostate.
Yeah, what the fuck is with that? What the fuck? It's like, oh, hang on, I've got to.
I really want to eat.